Nation. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington.
Can you be quiet, please? Thank you.
Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
There's local politics, bud.
I don't care about the weather. I can't control the weather. Don't want to talk about the weather.
Sustained effort and violence.
No, please. No. Please, everyone be quiet.
Was that supposed to be funny?
I got a little taco meat on my chest.
Cool, neat story. I want to shake his hand. 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 Family.
Let's get the pumping.
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the Pirate Nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
All right, welcome into a Free Beer Friday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Somebody will be wasted away again in Margaritaville coming up later on in the show because we have Margaritaville Tropical Punch on the line today. We'll be giving that out in hour number 3 of today's show. A lot of sports talk to get to before we get to that point in the program, and we'll do it here in mere moments with Ryan Robinson from East Carolina. We'll talk indoor practice facility and everything they have going on. A huge rollout that was kind of leaked out last night via ECUPirates.com, and we'll get more into it today on the show with Double R coming up in mere moments. Morgan Ahlers joins us at around 3:30 to talk about what's going on with ECU athletics and the world of sports. Tony Dunn, CarolinaCatChronicles.com, is here at 4 o'clock. NFL schedule was released last night, and the schedule release videos the teams are putting out are getting more and more creative, and some were pretty awesome last night. We'll go over some of those and talk about the schedule that was released on Thursday evening. Brian North joins us at 5 o'clock, and we'll talk about what's going on in the golf world. Harold Varner III will be back in action coming up Thursday in the PGA Championship. So looking forward to that next weekend. We'll talk to Greeny about the golf world in the 5 o'clock hour. We got Shirley Rhodes here, Chandler Honeycutt, and CJ Schaefer on a Friday. And Vince is here. The boss is here on a Friday. That means something big's going on. And this time, Troy D., that includes East Carolina Athletics.
It does. Major announcement last night from ECU as they announced it officially. It had been talked about it for a while. In fact, we had Coach Houston on Monday, and he referenced there was going to be a big announcement coming up this week, and it is finally official. And let's go out on the Pirate Radio Live line to the campus of ECU, talk to Ryan Robinson with ECU Athletics. Ryan, first of all, great to have you on with us again. Appreciate your time.
Hey, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. And, yeah, we're excited. I mean, we weren't trying to keep anything a secret. It was, as you all know, when you're putting something like this together, it takes time, and, you've got to get everything lined up, whether it's websites and communication. So, last night we had a really small get-together with some of our coaches, the chancellors, some of our Pirate Club members, and really kind of launched it. And, obviously, very aggressive campaign. As Matt Maloney told me the other day, he said, this is the most aggressive campaign in Pirate Club history. And this is going to take time. We understand that. So we're excited to kind of get it off the ground.
All right, Ryan, for folks tuned in right now, not knowing what that campaign is, maybe hearing about it for the first time, it is pretty ambitious. A $60 million project encompasses a lot of facilities. Quickly give us the rundown of what it is that you guys announced.
So, like you said, Troy, it's a $60 million campaign that really for us is going to provide some much-needed funds. And, we use the word essential training spaces that will really transform some stuff for our student athletes. It's really going to make an impact on all those programs, all of our student athletes, and a lot of them are kind of multi-purpose. We got a new swimming locker room that's going to be built in Minji's Natatorium. I believe that's actually already started. The one everybody talks about is the multi-purpose indoor football facility. We call it the multi-purpose indoor practice facility, but I thought it was key last night, Coach Houston saying, hey, this is bigger than football. What we're trying to do is transformational. And I think if you ask any student athlete on campus, they're all going to be able to use that facility. When it rains and weather, they're going to be able to go in this indoor facility. Obviously, football is practicing. You all have been out there. Lightning strikes. I mean, there are times that we have to go in Minges, and if volleyball is practicing, coach has to wait until volleyball is done to do his practice in Minges. So now we're going to be able to just slide right over and go into an indoor facility. Minges Coliseum has always needed some renovation, some tinkering, and really for us, it's mainly about this lower bowl area, trying to get some chair backs that are built on the bleachers. Colleges across the country are doing. You can still roll the bleachers in, but Minges is used for a lot of different things. Whether it's I know we just went through a bunch of graduations, Pitt County, ECU. We host a number of events in there. That will give us some premium seating in that lower area. Obviously, we have courtside seating, but we've got to get new seats for courtside. Quite frankly, it's not good enough what we have. We need new bench seats for our participants. When I mentioned this at an event a couple weeks ago, a bunch of the basketball players kind of smiled and said, thank you. So just some of that stuff. We're looking to do some more premium stuff in Minges. If you look at kind of some of the upper levels of Minges, we'd like to tear out some space and make some loge boxes where you could kind of have a prime seat at midcourt, but not be so crowded together. I'm learning that where this is going in hospitality is people don't like to be on top of each other. They like to have space. And so we're looking at that. Really excited about the baseball building, kind of expanding that footprint. And again, not only does that help the baseball program and Coach Godwin, but it adds some premium space. So we're going to have a building that will go down the third base line, and there will be a deck where we'll have Pirate Club members at certain levels will have access to. It's got some little indoor suites. We'll have bar stools right there where you can watch the action. That is something we sorely need at baseball. We have no premium seating options. We have one suite for the Pirate Club that we try to give out each year to supporters. And then, we have our unbelievable, the teams building we have. This is kind of right beside soccer, softball, track. It's just we've outgrown it. We've got to add some areas where we have some new lounges, some new locker rooms for some of our sports, like a soccer, lacrosse, softball. So we're excited about that. And then I think what's really important in all this, too, is an emphasis on restricted funds. And when I say restricted funds, guys, that's more, you could give $5,000 to the women's golf program. Maybe that allows our coach to buy new irons, new equipment for our student athletes. And then our athletic excellence funds, which really gives the AD the opportunity to increase some budgets that we have for our programs. If you remember when we went through COVID, we lowered budgets, and a lot of those budgets are still at a very low end. And so we want to give our coaches, our student athletes, every chance to succeed. And we think this is the right step in that direction.
Ryan Robinson once again joining us live as we open up PRL East Carolina, announcing the Pirates Unite campaign for ECU Athletics, a $60 million project that Ryan just ran down. And listen, man, everything sounds good. It's a great wish list, and all of it definitely sounds needed. Here's the question. $60 million is a lot of money for East Carolina athletics. What's the time frame to be able to fundraise this thing? When would you like to have this wrapped up by, Ryan?
Well, we look at this sometimes as like a 4 or 5 year window, but I don't want to put a timeline on it because I think we've got to get out as Pirate Club, be aggressive. Now, we've had unbelievable conversations. When you do something like this, Troy, especially let's just use, for example, an indoor facility, you're going to need a league gift. You're going to need the gifts in the $3 to $5 million range to get it going. And we've had some really good conversations with individuals and businesses about those. But the way we're doing the campaign is, let's say baseball right now is probably a $5 to $7 million project. If we raise $7 million for baseball, then we'll start building. But we've reached our full debt capacity, the Pirate Club. Obviously, the tower is a beautiful structure we're paying for. So there will be no shovel in the ground until funding is complete.
All right, so a little bit different than past years where it was financed. This will not be. This will be started when it's paid for, basically. And you said it could be piecemeal. So let's say the indoor facility is going to be let's just say $20 million project.
I think it's probably we're saying right now 16 to 20. I think the biggest thing, as you all know, is just the cost of steel continues to rise.
Sure. Once you have that raised, you can go ahead and start that even if everything else isn't paid for yet. So it's not an all or nothing deal. It's a piecemeal deal.
Yeah, we've already got some money raised for swimming, so that locker room will begin constructed. As you all probably seen, we're really excited about the weight room that we have. It's going in right behind Clark LeClaire Stadium. The steel is up on that. That is fully funded. So that's the reason we were able to start, and that should be done probably by the end of December. And what's really cool about that, talking to student athletes, is that we're one of the few schools that only has one weight room, and the weight room we have now is beautiful. You all been in it. We've redone it. It's just you have 450 student athletes. A lot of these teams, they want to work out at 7 a.m. or 9 a.m. Well, you can't do that. So this is going to give a whole lot of flexibility with this new weight room. Plus, for a team like baseball, now they're just walking across the street if they want to work out in that weight room. So we're really excited about that. But yeah, Troy, there's not a finance plan. It is we're going to raise the money and we're going to be aggressive. But like I said, it's going to take some major gifts to really get it off the ground.
And Ron, I've talked with some friends and some major donors, and I don't know if anything's official yet, but have you secured a lead gift or a naming rights opportunity for that indoor football facility? And if not, is that still available for somebody that might be out there listening right now? And if so, what type of gift are you looking for if someone wants their name on it?
Well, you are correct. We have we are definitely not close to any final agreement. We have talked to several individuals about the gift. When you do a facility, let's say 16, 20 million, you're always going to hope that you're going to be able to get between the $4 and $6 million for kind of the naming rights. But we're still going through that. I will tell you that you do hope that we can get something wrapped up by the end of the summer, or maybe in the summer with that. And there's different levels there too. You have the naming of the facility, but you also have the naming of the field. Both of those names will be on the indoor facility. And inside you have, the scoreboard. We're actually talking about doing outside the indoor a little bit of a plaza area that we're still exploring, because a lot of people, when you're going to make a gift of that magnitude, you do want to have naming rights available. So John and I and the Pirate Club, we continue to meet daily about naming right opportunities. We still have some opportunities available from the past campaign for the tower. One of them being the Boneyard. Now, that money that's raised for that goes towards the payment of the tower. So we're trying to be as creative as possible. Whatever we come up with, we will take to the Board of Trustees to get approval. Hopefully we can do that in July once everything's finalized.
Ron, I've been here since the 90s, and there's been a need for an indoor football facility, or as you call it now, multi-purpose facility, since then, and it's been talked about since then. Now, this is the first time it's actually potentially becoming a reality. What is the reality of this as far as what is your goal as far as at least that facility being able to break ground and get it operational? Is that something that could happen as quickly as let's say, the 2023 season? Could it be in place by then, or is it more of a 2024 situation?
It's an interesting question. I think I was trying to see where you went with it. I think I could see us breaking ground in 2023. Now, I don't know what time of year that would be. Now, that is aggressive. John Gilbert's probably listening and saying, dear God, Ryan. But I think we can do it. I really do. I think there's a lot of support behind it. But it's going to take everybody. I mean, it's going to take all of Pirate Nation kind of coming together and helping us with these projects, with that specific project. I know Coach Houston would like Clip and I to go out there tomorrow and start digging dirt, but that's not going to happen. We do hope that 2023 we've got some shovels in the ground and we're getting things done. And if we can secure naming rights, obviously we will be announcing that at the proper time. We're not at that point right now at all. We've been very fortunate. Now I'm looking out my window at Town Bank Tower, to get that naming rights. So we're going to continue to be aggressive. We have been meeting with people. I've been on the road a lot. So has John. I've been dragging Coach Houston all over this state, outside this state as well, talking about this campaign and specifically the multi-purpose.
And Ryan, we had a great interview, conversation with Coach Mike Houston on Monday. Big part of that, he talked about just the new NIL deal, name, image, likeness, and how that is affecting not just East Carolina, but just the world of college athletics. How do you weigh the fundraising now with the need for these facilities for ECU athletics, which the new need of NIL money, and how that's affected and changed the world of college athletics? Is it difficult now to really trying to be almost in many ways fundraising for both?
Well, and I would add something to that, Troy. I think, we have this beautiful tower that, we're fortunate this year. We're probably, I would say, close in the next week or so to announce that it's completely sold out. So all the trade club seats, the suites, and the loges. And the reason I bring it up, those aren't cheap. So we ask a lot of our supporters, we're filling the tower. We need to fill Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium. And then, you've got a campaign. On top of that, you have the NIL. Now, the NIL is we don't have a lot of control of it in the athletic department. I know that I've been really surprised and thankful for a lot of the businesses that have reached agreement with our student athletes. I know we even have some more that I think are coming on, and as you'll see announcements soon. But I think that's the hard thing, right? I mean, I don't want to sit here and tell you it's easy. It's not, because as a Pirate Club executive director, we're trying to raise money for our student athletes, whether it's facilities, funds, but you've got to balance it all, and you have to realize it's not going away. And I'm not against it. I think it's great for our kids. We've just got to figure out a way that we can make everybody happy and understand what we're trying to do. We understand what they're trying to do, and try to find that happy medium. But you are a part of it. I have been really pleased with the support that our student athletes have received in terms of the NIL. I was talking to Coach Schwartz the other day, and, I know, listen, it's no secret. It comes up in every conversation with every coach. And I think his message has been, hey, I've been here for 60 days. This is an unbelievable place. You come here, you're going to have opportunities. And I believe that as well.
Ryan, if someone's out there listening right now and they're hearing about this new indoor football facility that you guys have just announced, and it's, at least becoming a reality as someone that could actually donate to it now, if they want to donate to that or this fund in general, how do they do it? How do they go about it for someone that may not be familiar with the Pirate Club but says, that's something I'd like to get behind?
Well, I think the best thing they can do is go to ECUPirateClub.com first and look at all the information. It is all laid out where they'll be able to see all the information, how they can donate. They can also pick up the phone and call at any time. They can call the Pirate Club. They can call my office. So at 252-737-4882. I'd be happy to talk to them. So there's many ways, and this is just the first step, Troy. We'll have some different stages as we go on. A lot of people talk about bricks and different things that we can do. We'll have some of that as we go on. I think the important thing was to launch, let people understand what we're trying to do, and then continue those conversations. But I know personally, our Pirate Club staff, we will come and meet with anybody. Just call, email. We'll set up a meeting, kind of show you the different options, and go from there.
Well, it's definitely an impressive presentation you guys have put together, and some much-needed things for ECU athletics for the future that will hopefully pay dividends for decades down the road. But, Ron, anything else you want Pirate Nation to know about? I know we'll catch up with you again down the road, but while you have an open forum here to let people hear whatever's on your mind.
Yeah, I think there's just a couple of things. I talked about the Town Bank Tower being sold out. I think one of the things that's been really impressive to me, too, is we are now our fewest available tickets in the Williams-Clark Club that we've had since the tower was completed. So those are selling really well. We're right near about 13,000 season tickets. We're in the middle of May. Last year, as a whole, we sold 13,500. We would really like to get that number to 15,000. I know you and I have had many conversations about how hard it is to sell single-game tickets. So I think, one of the things we're trying to establish now is, maybe a charity program where, hey, I can't come to the game, but I want to buy season tickets, and I want to make sure they're in somebody's hands. We've got to do everything we can because we got that team coming here on September 4th, and we got to have this place packed. And the last thing I'd like to say, I want to congratulate, just spent a long time in his office, Tom McClellan, whose last day today, after 17 years here, going over to Pitt County Schools. Really appreciate everything that Tom has done for ECU, for athletics, but also in the community. He does a lot of stuff that, he's helping out at baseball, really not his job. So he goes year-round. So I'm really happy for the next step in his career.
Ryan, a quick question here about the new world of the American and how these conferences are going to look as Houston and UCF, skip town and head to the Big 12. There's talk that they may be leaving a year early after one more school calendar year. If that's the case, there would be a buyout, and East Carolina would be accepting some of that money. So, if that were to happen, where do those funds go? Is that something you guys have talked about? If you do get something from those teams, those schools leaving the conference?
Well, and I think you're right, Clip. We've kind of heard kind of the same things. I'm kind of going into this year as the possibility this is the final year. Those money, that money would be spread out over all the schools. And then there's certain areas that, a lot of it we need it for operating. But I do think with this conference, East Carolina has a chance to really position itself in a really good place with this new alignment. And I think, obviously the additional funds, but again, that's spread out over the remaining schools, and we'll see what that number is. Obviously that's negotiations and seeing where it's at. But if you ask me right now, I would say there is probably a good chance this is the final year for those schools here.
And Ryan, you're making these upgrades that we're talking about now, and hopefully can get those done in the next few years. With the new schools being added to the American, what's left in the American, where does East Carolina stack up when it comes to facilities, in your opinion? I know you've been to some of these other places.
I think we're going to be near the top. You get an indoor facility in here, there's not going to be much. We do some stuff with the teams building. The teams building is very important because it houses a lot of our teams. And then you look at baseball, Minji's. I don't know, Clip. I think, is it Texas Arlington? I know, are they coming? Is it Texas Arlington? Sorry, I keep forgetting them.
Texas San Antonio.
San Antonio, yeah. There are some of these schools, I just saw the other day, Rice is doing like a $120 million campaign. I saw Memphis yesterday as well, $150 million campaign. So you're seeing a lot of the schools that are coming in, they are preparing to compete at this level. But I think you get an indoor facility in here. I don't know if there's going to be really anything hard to beat that we don't have. But we've got to continue. It's an arms race. We understand where we're at East Carolina. We've got to remain competitive and give our coaches and staff and student athletes a chance to compete for excellence. But on the other side, we've got to compete for excellence. We have a lot of unbelievable things here, and Coach Houston and I talk about this all the time. Do we not have an indoor right now? But we have enough to compete, and we should be competing. And it gets me excited when I hear Coach Schwartz, Coach Houston. We got a new soccer coach that gets me. I don't know if you've had him on yet, but he's from Scotland. He gets me fired up every time he talks. Because Shane Winkler, our softball coach, came here and said, man, I've got everything I need right here. I got everything we need to compete. So that's what we've got to do our part too. We talk about Pirate Nation. We've got to do our part as a department to make sure we're competing in all our sports.
Ryan kind of touched on it there, Troy. The arms race is so fluid. We could ask Ryan the same question in 2 weeks, and USF might have talked about building a new structure. So that answer could change a lot, but it's nice to hear we're at or near the top.
And Ryan, I want to give a shout out to you guys at the Pirate Club. Once again, the website for folks that want more information, ecupirateclub.com. You guys have done a great job of getting all the information out there now. So folks go there. They can read about every one of these projects, see what they look like. And I had some folks ask me, because you actually have a visual of the indoor practice facility. Is this kind of a mock-up of what it is actually going to look like, or is this just a rendering of what it could look like? Because a lot of folks were wondering, hey, is this even going to have walls in it? Is it glass on the sides? I know there's a lot of garage doors it's going to have,
Yeah, I'm so glad you asked that, because John Gilbert has been on me about, it's a rendering, but I mean, that's kind of what we're looking to do. Those are doors, so they will close like garage doors. And then they can, will open. So a lot of times, like in the NFL, if you're the beloved Tampa Bay Buccaneers, or I'm trying to think, if you're playing Green Bay Packers and wherever you're at and it's cold outside, you can still practice on the turf, but roll up the doors to make, so you feel the elements. Now, it will be a climate-controlled facility, but yeah, those are garage doors. We're going to get that website will continuously be updated as we get new renderings. You'll start to see, especially on the weight room, we're going to start putting some different things in there. And then as we get going with like baseball in the teams room, so that website is not just a stale website that's going to stay like that for 3 years. You're going to see new renderings. But I think what's most impressive about the indoor is, you drive down Charles Boulevard, that thing's going to be a monstrosity. I mean, it's gonna make this, athletics footprint pop. I mean, we're talking about 101,000 square feet. So, with scoreboards and clocks, we'll have, LED lighting, sound systems. And one of the things that we'll try to do, too, is use that on game day. It can be used for recruiting.
Yeah.
I know Coach Houston's excited about using it for camps. And when I talk about camps, it's great that we have these kids coming in, but you're talking about parents, people coming in, and ECU, Coach Houston said something last night that really struck with me is, hey, there's a lot of people that might have a narrative about ECU, but they know we're coming, and we're coming for them. And they know that we're going to compete. We are committed to an athletic department that's going to compete. And I think that's important because it's important to our community as well. I love the partnership we have with our community. I mean, right now we have, 8 softball teams that were in town, eating at our restaurants, going to our hotels. Last week we had the lacrosse championships here, hotels and restaurants. That's important to us to continue to bring events and have that partnership.
And Ron, I think the cool thing about this, and we talked with Coach Houston about it, is this new indoor facility is going to be congruent with the existing practice field. So you've got the grass practice field, you have the turf field, which will remain, and then this will go right next to it. So they'll all be attached. And I think, too, sometimes, Ron, folks, we forget how good we have it here. I go to other places, and you've been to other places, too, where all the facilities are spread out. You just mentioned Memphis. They got to play in the Liberty Bowl, which is nowhere near their campus. We are so fortunate here. We have the football facility, the baseball facility, the basketball facility, all within literally 200 yards of each other. I mean, and all the sports facilities are all right there, literally on campus. And to me, I think that is really what college sports is all about, not having to drive over there and over here. Everything is literally a campus facility.
And we hear that from our coaches, Troy, all the time. Especially, it's kind of interesting when new coaches come in, they love it. That everything's right here. And I think what's cool, I mean, I'm biased, but it's pretty cool to work in this athletic department because I've been in places like Tennessee where it is not like that. But, man, you can walk out your office door if you go outside and, you're seeing all of our student athletes, coming and going. We got our academic center here in Ward. There is so many great things about East Carolina. It'd take me all day to talk about the opportunity that we have here, what we have, but most importantly, the support. Coach Schwartz said the other day he was leaving an event because we've had him kind of going all over on these armadas, and we had McCall's Barbecue in Goldsboro, and he just simply said, "Man, Pirate Nation is strong." And I said, "No, you haven't even witnessed it yet." So we're really excited about the future of the alignment and kind of moving forward. Really excited about the baseball game tonight. What is it, 7 in a row? So we've got lots of good things going on over here.
Ryan, thanks for your time, man. Great catching up as always. Congratulations on the kickoff of this Pirates Unite campaign. We'll be talking about it a lot, but definitely wanted to get you on today as it's now officially public information. So appreciate all the info you have provided, insight, and keep up the good work.
Hey, I appreciate it. And Clip, if you want to sit down to kind of discuss the naming rights opportunity, you and I, we could definitely have lunch at Chico's and make that happen.
All right, I'm definitely in for lunch, and we'll discuss the other stuff.
Ryan,
after.
I was thinking the Dreyfus Dome had a good ring to it.
I could see that, but I think Clip is set himself up for that conversation.
Troy, you've already got the Dreyfus Dome on top of those shoulders.
Yeah, it cost me a lot less, too.
Ryan, are you still a Jaguars guy?
Clip, I've kind of soured a little bit. So my best friend is now, he was the Jaguars coach, and trust me, we didn't do very well when I was there, Gus Bradley. So I kind of now just follow him. He's at the Raiders, and now he's at the Colts. So I've kind of followed him. Now I love, watching the Redskins and Bears, and then hear about your all's pain on Monday mornings.
Well, I was going to say we got the Jags week 1, so hopefully Washington can win that one.
Lee D had me all depressed yesterday talking about the Bears. We haven't even started yet.
Still 4 months away.
I love the NFL. I'm not going to lie. My buddies I play golf with, I don't play a lot. I don't play at all, really, from September to December. And they're like, why on Sundays? And I say, because I'm tuned in to the NFL. So y'all have a great weekend, and we'll definitely talk soon.
All right, thanks, Ryan. Appreciate it. Ryan Robinson with ECU Athletics, also director of the ECU Pirate Club. And Clip, what a campaign here. I knew this thing was coming. I think it's a little bit bigger than I realized. A $60 million fundraising campaign encompasses a new baseball building facility, a baseball building with the expansion of the current facility, a Minges Coliseum renovation, the multi-purpose facility with the focus of football, a weight room construction project for all the other sports in addition to the Murphy Center, the teams building expansion that actually isn't that he talked about. They've already outgrown that. The swimming and diving locker room renovation, which is much needed.
And he said the women's swimming and diving locker room and the weight room are already underway.
Correct. Yeah. So, and once again, these will be funded, will be started as they are funded. So one of these projects may go while the other continues to fundraise for it. So I guess really, and I think Brian kind of made it, if you wanted to donate money specifically to the indoor facility, you could do that. Or if you want to donate to baseball directly, you could do that. So this will be interesting to watch. And they've kind of got a scoreboard up here on the website, which I like, as far as how much money they've got. Some money already in hand. But then, 15 million, 30 million, 45 million, 60 million, and it'll be complete with the campaign giving thermometer graphic that they have. And they'll update this, as Ryan said, as they go. So exciting times, man. I've been, you know me, we were talking about it the other day. I've been banging this drum for a long time on this indoor facility. This is the first time it's ever actually become this close to becoming a reality. Yeah. And I believe it will become a reality, and it's no longer a matter of if, it's just a matter of when.
Correct. Yeah, it is exciting news for Pirate fans, for the student athletes, for everybody involved right now. And good info from Ryan Robinson on each of those projects going on. All right, Troy, we got to take a break. Anything else before we let you go?
No, I appreciate you letting me sit in with you today. It was a big news day, so I wanted to be here to help cover it with you. And I'll turn things over to you for the rest of the show.
Sounds good. We'll talk to you Monday. Cliff Godwin is going to join us.
Cliff Godwin will be here at 3 o'clock hour. So on hour 1, we'll lead off the show with Cliff.
We'll have Coach Godwin. We'll have the players on Monday as well. So a big Monday edition of Pirate Radio Live following this weekend. Before we get there, a lot more Pirate Radio Live to go on this Friday. Back with you after this.
Tonight,
Jenny, it's Tuesday, and I'm going to go sing with DJ Captain Morgan for karaoke at The Buck.
Well, that sounds like fun. I have to work. Well, what are you up to this weekend?
Well, believe it or not, I'm going to go listen to some live music Friday and Saturday night at The Buck.
Live music all weekend long, really?
Yep, all weekend, and they also have the biggest high-definition screen to watch all the sporting events on Sunday Fun Day.
I'm going to have to go check that out.
Yeah, just check out The Buck on Facebook or Instagram for all the information. The Buck.
Your vehicle is a big part of your life. That's why you should trust the team at Greenhalgh Auto World for all your vehicle needs. Greenhalgh Auto World believes in fair prices, superior service, and treating customers right. Visit greenhalghautowworld.net to see their fully stocked inventory of SUVs, trucks, and cars. Need a lift kit, custom rims, or wheels? Greenhalgh Auto World can upgrade your vehicle today. For sales or service, visit Greenhalgh Auto World on Highway 43 in Greenville.
Hey guys, this is Kyra from Postcode Junction in Washington, where all your shipping needs come together. Did you know Postcode Junction is the only UPS, FedEx, and DHL shipping location in Washington? Postcode Junction is also the place for your Amazon returns. Need to ship a package the same day? Want to avoid the long lines at the post office? Come see us at Postcode Junction by 4:30 and we got you covered. Postcode Junction on 15th Street in Washington next to Tractor Supply. Go Pirates!
Mow like a pro with Hustler Turf zero-turn mowers. They engineer their mowers to be maintenance and service friendly for the everyday homeowner while not sacrificing the build and cut quality they're known for. From the heavy-duty frame to the welded steel deck to their trademark smooth track steering, Hustler Turf zero-turn mowers deliver professional grade cut quality for a perfectly manicured lawn. Come into Ron Ayers Motorsports to see the Hustler difference for yourself today. Ron Ayers Motorsports, Highway 11, north of the airport in Greenville.
The Dickinson Avenue Public House is a lively and diverse restaurant in Greenville that utilizes fresh and local ingredients. With influences of Creole, Asian, and upscale Southern cuisine, the Dickinson Avenue Public House offers a seasonally rotating menu and a full-service bar with rotating craft brews on tap. Come to the intersection of 8th and Dickinson and enjoy $1 off drafts on Tuesday, half-price flights on Wednesday, half-price wine bottles on Thursday, and $1 oysters Tuesday through Friday from 5:30 to 7. For more details, check out their website at daphousenc.com.
This isn't your regular cola, so this isn't your regular cola ad. No beach parties or family barbecues here, just Nitro Pepsi, the first cola ever infused with nitrogen. So forget everything you thought you knew about soda, because that nitrogen gives us a whole new experience. Think an infusion of smaller bubbles for a cola that's got a lighter, smoother texture. And don't get me started on the pour. You don't pour this like any other cola. We're talking turn the can completely upside down and watch as those bubbles cascade into the glass to create a frothy, luxurious foam topping. Can your cola do that? I didn't think so. Unless you've got your own Nitro Pepsi, in which case cheers to your great taste. Because you already know that the only thing better than the pour is the unapologetic cola taste. What else is there to say? From the creamy foam to the smooth texture to its unbelievably delicious flavor, this is cola like you've never had it before. Time to bring your taste buds to the next frontier. New Nitro Pepsi. Smooth, creamy, delicious.
Warren's Hot Dog Pizza. Homemade lemonade.
Hey Pirate Nation, Warren's now has 2 locations, in Greenville across from Ron Ayers Motorsports and the Chocowinity location next to the fire department. Stop in today for hot dogs, pizza, subs, apple and peach turnovers, homemade lemonade, and breakfast in Chocowinity featuring homemade cheese, ham and chicken biscuits, plus sausage dogs and more. Warren's Hot Dogs. Want some? Get some. Go Pirates!
This is Amanda Houston, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. Go Pirates!
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Vacation spots are right here in our very own backyard, and you can take a trip to a state park and enjoy traditional camping, RV space, and also air-conditioned cabins that can be rented with Wi-Fi. If you're by a lake, be sure to check out the opportunities to rent a canoe or kayak and get out on the water. Your next adventure is right around the corner. For more information, please visit ncstateparks.gov. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
All right, back with you here, Pirate Radio Live on a Friday. Seeing if Chandler Honeycutt's worth his weight in gold when it comes to video production today. You got me on the shot. Looks like you do. Well done. Let's head out to the Pirate Radio Live line and talk to the voice of Dowdy Ficklin Stadium, Minji's Coliseum. I'm seeing I'm checking all the mics. I'm sorry for making you work. This is your job. Do your job. Set out to the Pirate Radio Live line. Talk to Morgan Ahlers here on a Friday. Morgan, how you doing, sir?
I am doing fantastic. Kicking off a long weekend, but Always good talking sports with the legendary Clip Brock.
Oh, wow. You're too kind. The Pirates Unite campaign set to begin, and the indoor practice facility, the IPF, something talked about for decades and decades around these parts, could finally be getting done if the price is right. And we're talking about this with Mike Houston the other day. Troy D was in here, and I was trying to think about the first football coach that Troy D probably asked a question about an indoor practice facility to, and it was probably Steve Logan, right, Morgan? You've been around here a long time. How long has the indoor practice facility talk been going on in Greenville?
I think it probably was Logan way back when, but that was before everybody had them. And I heard Coach Houston talk on your show the other day saying there's only two really Division I schools in the Southeast that don't have them, and we're one of them. So, but according to a former athletic director here that shall remain nameless, Jeff Copper, we didn't need one because, it's not a necessity. Yes, it is.
It certainly is and I asked Coach Houston about it, multiple reasons. For the practicality of it, being able to go somewhere when you have those lightning storms or any storms that pop up in eastern North Carolina, and when recruits are taking visits, you've got every other school that has one and can a big, nice, shiny building that they can show off. And when kids come here, they don't see one because there isn't one. So there's that factor, too. Mike Houston said it's used against East Carolina.
Oh, and I agree with that. I mean, especially if a kid's coming down between East Carolina and maybe a couple other schools that do, you're going to point out all the positives that you have and the negatives of the other guys. And now they might not do it directly and say, well, East Carolina doesn't have one. It says, you're going to go to a school that, you need one of these because this is why X, Y, and Z, why you need one. And East Carolina, of course, up to now is going to have to say, well, this is why we don't have one, but this is what we do have. So you have to. It's one of these things you have to chuck and duck around a little bit, bob and weave. But the coaching staff's done a really good job in recruiting the last few years, and I think it's going to show this year.
And speaking of that, Morgan, USA Today put out the rankings of every team from number 1 to UConn at the very bottom. And this is fan service. This is for us to talk about, to nitpick and everything. Nobody knows what's going to happen during the season and how everything's going to shake out. But East Carolina put at 58, which is a huge improvement from where it's been in the 90s and 80s and up there. But B, East Carolina making a bowl last year. Puts them in the top half of college football. Now they need to take that next step. Also, interestingly enough, Morgan had them the 4th-ranked American team, which sounds about right. East Carolina's put themselves in the middle of the AAC and now moving towards the top half. So kind of a prove-it year for East Carolina. Hey, let's show them that we're better than that. But what do you think about that number kind of being middle of the pack in the entire landscape of football and near the top at the American? Is that fair?
I would say it would be fair from a standpoint of somebody looking from the outside, doing the 40,000-foot view of East Carolina football. I think it would be very fair. I think that folks that are around it like we are on a day-in and day-out basis might think that might be a little low. I think we probably could be a little bit higher, and by the end of the year, hopefully it will be. I think we've got a lot of pieces coming back. You've talked about it a lot, and you're going to be, I'm sure, breaking it down as the season gets closer and closer. But this is one of those things that when you're taking that 30,000, 40,000-foot level, East Carolina, we made the bowl last year. We improved. We played well at the end of the season. However, the pieces that we've got in place right now, I think, even makes us a little bit better than we were at the end of last year. And I think as the season goes on, we've got a chance to really surprise a lot of people, and I think we will. All
right, Morgan, you reminded me, so last year around this time, I know it was the off season, you said, hey, watch out, this Ryan Jones guy has got something, and took a while for him to get in the mix, and when he did, turned into a playmaker and a weapon on this offense. So let's do that again, Morgan. Give me another newcomer, a guy we haven't seen in the purple and gold on the field yet, but could be a big-time playmaker for the team this year. Who's that weapon going to be?
Julio Gonzalez.
I've never heard of that gentleman.
Oh, are you talking about East Carolina?
Yes.
Oh, no, I thought you were talking about cross-country kickball for a team in Mexico. No, Peyton Winstead, or Isaiah Winstead. Peyton.
I didn't ask you what country music rocker to go see this weekend.
And by the way, he's got a future. Moved to Nashville if he's listening.
Oh, did he really?
Music. Yeah, he moved.
Oh, wow. Awesome, man.
Making the music world, so that's something to keep an eye on, too. But I think Isaiah Winstead is one of these guys that coming into the program has got a lot to prove. I think he's one of these 6'2", 6'3" guys that is going to be a matchup problem for a lot of people. And I thought it would be, and I had no inside knowledge, just as me looking at it. If you had Ryan Jones at one wide out and you put Winstead at the other one, that is a nightmare for defensive backs to cover. 2 6'3", 6'4" guys that can run, jump, big, strong. Then you got a couple other guys moving in, and Jalen Jordan, I think, from Georgia. You know, he's a 6'2" guy. You've got the young man Gardner transferred in from Duke, and then you've always got the wild card in C.J. Johnson if he makes it back. And, you know, I hope he does. If C.J. does make it back and he's the C.J. that he's capable of being, that's as good a wide receiver room as there is in this conference.
It all of a sudden goes from a big question mark to a positive, if all that can happen, for sure. And Mike Houston said that he is still hopeful CJ will be on the team in September. As he pointed out, still on the roster, just suspended from the team at the moment, but hopefully working his way back on. Morgan Ahlers joining us. Hopefully the weather will cooperate this weekend and we can get some baseball in, Morgan, because this Pirate baseball team has been trending up. You got the RPI right now sitting in the mid-30s. It looks like they might be on the right side of the bubble if the tournament began this weekend, and they're first place in the American and are looking for another ring and winning the AAC tournament. So, man, this thing has really turned around here in the last few weeks.
Yeah, it has. They've been playing well. They've been hitting the baseball and getting timely hits, with the exception of the Friday night game last week against Memphis. I was coming back from doing a wedding, and I was listening to the game, and I'm sitting here going like, okay, we got man on first and second, got man on first, second, third, but nobody hit the ball.
Right.
They put it together late in the ball game, scored 4, won the game, and then really had a strong weekend. They need to keep doing that. They need to keep getting after these teams, and got 2 more conference series, I believe, and if they can pull those out, possibly sweep, definitely get 4 or 5 wins out of those, I think that's something that the Pirate fans will really rally around, and this team can really use that Pirate spirit and Pirate Nation really getting after them and supporting them, because we sure do need that right now.
Morgan Ahlers joining us while we're hitting ECU Sports. Morgan, along with the Pirates Unite campaign, we saw some news about Minji's Coliseum plans to renovate, upgrade that, including new chairback seats on one side of the lower bowl, new bench seats, improved courtside seating, according to what came out on ECUPirates.com. Your take on that, you have spent more time in Minji's than just about anybody. So, are those welcome additions? And what other additions would you like to see at Minji's Coliseum?
I was surprised when I saw that, but it's good. I think that there's obviously, to make the fan experience better is a big deal. I think, getting the PA system fine-tuned would be a great thing from a personal standpoint. Not that it's bad now, but I just think that it's sort of an older system that can be fine-tuned. I know that a lot of times people will sit here and say, boy, it's loud where I'm sitting, but there's people other places say that it's not loud enough.
Right.
Depending on if you're in front of a speaker or not, I guess that's the big deal there. But it's time. I think that was at 1995 it was done. So what is that, 27 years ago?
I was going to say, it sounds like this has been a complaint for a while, a long time, and not from you, from a lot of folks.
No, from a lot of folks, and it's since they remodeled it and rebuilt it in 95, that's a 27-year-old facility. It needs some upgrades.
And hopefully some upgrades on the court as well, as Mike Schwartz continuing to recruit and bring some folks in, and looking forward to some basketball later on this calendar year. Morgan, you keeping up with anything going on, the Hurricanes, the NBA playoffs? You following that at all?
I'm watching the Hurricanes a little bit, following them. NBA playoffs, I probably will get more involved with it as the semifinals and finals get on, but honestly, I'm just not a huge NBA guy. I lost my interest in them a while back, and I do watch the playoffs when it gets toward the end, but that's about it.
You got that going on next week.
Curmudgeon.
Harold Varner III will be back on the course. Hadn't seen him in a while. He'll be playing in the PGA Championship. Also, the Preakness going on. And Morgan, you weren't one of those lucky few that had a very, very late bet put in on Rich Strike, were you?
No, but that was cool.
Yeah.
Especially the angle that they showed above the track.
Oh, yeah.
They showed him with, coming around the last turn, way in the back, and then he just makes a run for it. And, that was really cool. I heard today that he is not going to be in the
Preakness, yeah,
which is the next one. But they had planned to rest him for 5 weeks anyway. It wasn't just because he won the Kentucky Derby and something's wrong with him, and he's going to be ready for the Belmont at the end of June. But that's a cool story, and good for them.
Yeah, no doubt. Morgan Ahlers joining us. Morgan, got some beach wedding going on this weekend?
Doing one tonight in between Morehead City and Newport at Butterfly Kisses Pavilion. And then tomorrow heading to South Boston, Virginia. And then Sunday coming back to Greenville. So the triple header trifecta this weekend. And shameless plug, if anybody's looking for a DJ for a wedding for this year, next year, or the year after, I've actually got booked in 2024 already.
Wow.
Which is kind of cool.
You think the engagement lasts that long?
I don't know, but I got the deposit. I don't care.
That is how you work it right there. That's good stuff.
No, but hopefully it will. They're good folks. I think they will.
Man, that's long in advance. So yeah, book. We got a wedding DJ for you. If you're not ready, if you got cold feet this year, go ahead and get Morgan for next year. He'll be ready to go.
Hey, I'm already booked. I've already got, I think, 7 or 8 booked for next year. So
man,
shaping up good. Yeah.
Good stuff, Morg. Thanks for joining us, man. Have a great weekend, and hopefully you get some good food at the reception, and people treat you right. And we'll talk to you again next week.
Thank you, Cliff. You guys have a great weekend. Be safe.
Morgan Ahlers joining us on this Friday edition of Pirate Radio Live, where we will be giving out some Margaritaville Tropical Punch coming up in hour number 3. You got the flavors like Mango Peach Paradise, Strawberry Daiquiri, Beach Breezy. Those could be yours. We got a variety pack, 12-pack for you coming up in hour 3 of today's show. We'll take a time out, come back, wrap up hour number 1 of Pirate Radio Live, see what the folks are saying on the Facebook Live chat, and also go over the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard presented by Del Buck. We'll do that and more when we return. Pirate Radio Live, back with you after this.
Do you want to get rid of wrinkles, tighten and lift your skin, smooth skin texture, erase veins and brown spots, and get rid of unwanted hair? Are you interested in Botox or filler? Contact the licensed professionals at Beauty Bar MediSpa on Red Banks Road in Greenville. Free consultations available. Visit us at beautybarmedispa.com. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Enjoy your visit. Love your transformation. Go Pirates!
Hello, Eastern North Carolina. If you're looking for a great place to work with competitive pay and advancement opportunities, Pitt County Schools is hiring. We employ over 3,000 people, and we're one of the largest employers in Pitt County. Pitt County Schools is currently seeking teachers, bus drivers, school nutrition personnel, facility staff, custodians, clerical staff, and more. We offer advanced leadership opportunities for our educators and competitive pay for our skilled labor force. Come work for a diverse, thriving school system and be an important part of ensuring success for the students of Pitt County who are the future of Eastern North Carolina. To fill out an application, visit our website today at pittschools.org. That's pittschools.org, or go directly to our job postings at bit.ly/PCS employment. That's bit.ly/PCS employment. Pitt County Schools, engaging, empowering, and elevating every student and every staff member every single day.
Temperatures are in the low 30s at 10 a.m., increasing sharply to 75 degrees by 1 p.m., and then dropping into the teens by 10 p.m. So before you go to work, put on some gloves, pack some shorts and a parka. That should cover you for the day.
Your heating and cooling take a beating. Guarantee your system is ready when you need it. Call Delcor. Buy a new train system and make no payments until 2023. It's hard to stop a train. With inflation and high gas prices, you don't need another payment. So buy this month and make no payments until 2023. Delcor, the service professionals.
Have you stopped doing your favorite activity due to chronic aches and pains? Let Eastern Physical Medicine and Rehab help. They provide regenerative injection therapy that can help with osteoarthritis, joint pain, carpal tunnel, and plantar fasciitis. Eastern Physical Medicine and Rehab will help you get back into the groove. Eastern Physical Medicine and Rehab, 2245 Stantonsburg Road, across from the hospital. Call 215-9294 for an appointment today.
The furniture savings have never been better than right now during Bostic Sugg Furniture's Red, White, and Used sale. Savings as high as 70% off clearance items, closeouts, and discontinued items, plus store-wide discounts on new and in-stock merchandise, plus 12 months special financing. We have the looks, the styles you want in stock. Sleep better and save on a quality mattress with 72 months special financing. This Memorial Day, it's all about the Red, White, and You at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Holt Nailers for my friends at ArcPoint Labs. Just as I trust my teammates, you can trust ArcPoint Labs to give you quick and accurate results for all your laboratory testing needs. If you are in need of COVID testing for your return to school, work, or for travel, ArcPoint Labs is offering same-day PCR and antigen testing with little to no wait time. Please visit any of the 6 Eastern North Carolina ArcPoint Labs locations or make an appointment now at onehourcovidresults.com. Go Pirates!
Pirate Radio.
All of our last names are ECU.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Do you need some beer for the weekend? The Jarvis Street Bottle Shop near Christie's Euro Pub is the specialty shop selling craft, domestic, and import brews, along with wine and growlers. Bottle Shop offers monthly beer and wine tastings featuring rotating North Carolina craft breweries, along with live music and discounts. Stop by Tuesday through Sunday or check out the Jarvis Street Bottle Shop on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here's Flip Brock.
Alrighty, wrapping up Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live here on a Free Beer Friday. Tony Dunn set to join us coming up in Hour number 2. We'll talk NFL schedule release and more, news and notes. Get a Jerry Jeudy update as he was arrested, but I think he's out on bond now. We'll talk about that. Let's get a quick update of the Facebook chat on this Friday. Robert Matthews says hello. Mike P says, just wanted to wish Cam Newton a happy belated birthday. That's nice of Mike P, isn't it, Chandler?
Yeah, very nice.
Have the Panthers posted anything yet?
No, why would they?
All right. Susan Dean says hashtag fire Matt Rule.
Happy birthday, Cam.
And
did Susan Deans wish Cam a happy birthday?
Good question. Susan, did you?
I'm sure she did.
And then some comments about our interview with Ryan Robinson. If you missed it, you can check it out. You can watch it right now if you'd like to. Go to YouTube
and rewind.
And you can go all the way back to the beginning of the show. And as we're talking about something else, you can listen to the Ryan Robinson interview where he had a lot of details on the new initiative, the multi-purpose indoor practice facility, the other additions and upgrades they are making, including Minji's Coliseum. It's the Pirates Unite Capital campaign, and you can check it all out, ECUPirates.com, ECUPirateclub.com, and check out that Ryan Robinson interview we did to start the show. All right, big night tonight. Boy, I was talking to CJ yesterday about his Celtics and how you just don't come back from what happened the other night. But Brandon Walker on Pick Central said something earlier today that's been tough for me to shake. Boston, the way they are The roster's compiled, the guys they have on the team. They seem like a good back against the wall team. Fair? Is that enough to force this thing to a game 7? I don't know. Bucks are a 1-point home favorite, and I am completely baffled on what side to go on tonight. I was all on Milwaukee yesterday, Boston today. I have no opinion on it right now. Anybody want to help?
Boston says CJ.
Well, he's a fan. Yeah. How about you, Chandler? Who wins it?
I like Milwaukee at home.
All right. Going to win it at home tonight. Warriors are 8-point favorites at home to try to close out their series with the Memphis Grizzlies. We got Orioles baseball for you tonight as the O's coming off a series win against the Cardinals. They'll be in Detroit tonight to face the Tigers. And also 3 games tonight in the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Rangers on the road at Pittsburgh. The Penguins can close out that series with a win tonight. Florida looking to close out their series with Washington. That one is in D.C. And then you've got the Calgary Flames, who lead it 3-2 over the Stars. Calgary trying to close it out on the road tonight in Dallas. So that's going on the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard, presented by Da Buck. ECU baseball gets underway tonight at 6:30. Now, ECU baseball has put out a graphic with Garrett Saylor on it. They've done this in the past where the guy on the graphic has not started a game. So are we assuming Saylor is starting tonight or not? Did they just put him up there for fun? I don't know.
There's no way Garrett Saylor starts tonight.
All right.
I was thinking we'd go back to the old well like last week. Go CJ Mayhew.
Probably will. But just pointing out that Garrett Saylor is on the graphic that they tweeted out 5 minutes ago. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back when we return. Tony Dunn joins us. We've watched some of the schedule release videos that were put out on social media. And I got to say, now this may get tiresome as things do over time and other aspects of life, but
I'm enjoying it.
As of today, I think this is awesome. I think it is making every team's social media department up their game. And there were some great videos, really funny stuff. And we'll talk about some of the highlights that came out last night. We'll look over the Panthers schedule, the primetime schedule, talk about it all with Tony Dunn at ConleyCatChronicles.com when we return. Back with you on Pirate Radio Live after this.
It's back. The Pirate Radio Football Kickoff Party is back, and it's on for Thursday, September 1st.
This season will be Pirate Radio's 20th football season, broadcasting as the voice of the Pirate Nation. And we are back, throwing the best party of the year, just days before the Pirates take on the Pack in Greenville.
Save the date and plan to join us on Thursday, September 1st for the Pirate Radio Football Kickoff Party presented by Bud Light.
We are Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
The Inner Banks Home Builders Association presents Home and Garden Expo 2022. Now is your chance to be a part of it. Have a booth or be a sponsor of this new and improved, exciting event to be held Saturday, June 4th at Minges Coliseum in Greenville. Indoor and outdoor exhibit space is available to accommodate everyone. For more information or to sign up today, please visit the Inner Banks Home Builders Association website at ibxhba.org. That's ibxhba.org.
I can't think of anyone who doesn't love a clean car, but how often do you actually go to the car wash? Does it take too long, or maybe it's just not a very nice place? Tommy's Express changes everything. Our wash is bright, inviting, clean, and fast.
I love the flat conveyor belt. So easy to pull onto, much smoother ride, and safer for my car.
And when you join Tommy Club, you can wash as often as you like for one low monthly price.
I save money and time.
We're Tommy's Express.
At the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Red Banks Road, Greenville.
Pepper, oh no they didn't! Papa John's just took their signature pepperoni and hand-stuffed it inside that garlic-kissed crust. Oh, now that's an epic pepperoni stuffed crust pizza like no mouth has ever seen!
Hey Pirate fans, the Papa John's Epic Pepperoni Stuffed Crust One-Topping Pizza is only $13.99 and is an MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Avoid the long check-in lines and congestion at the big airports and fly local at PGV. Fast, convenient, and close to home, PGV has more American Airlines flights. Book today at aa.com. PGV, where the pirates fly.
Hi, this is Jeff Charles, and welcome inside the booth. Was it really that surprising that basketball coach Jay Wright retired? I'll have some thoughts coming up next.
Baltimore Orioles baseball.
Hit out to right field towards the gap. Going over is Carlson. It bounces on the track and off the wall. Mullins is going to score from second base. Mancini will hold at third. It's an RBI double from Santander. And the Orioles, their lead grows to 4-0 in the fifth.
Catch all the action right here on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
When Villanova basketball coach Jay Wright at age 60 announced his retirement last month, the media treated the story as a shocking one. I kept hearing it over and over. My thought was, I'm not shocked at all. The majority of college basketball coaches are fed up with the system, terribly frustrated, and they just don't enjoy the job anymore. What did Jay Wright have to prove? He's won 2 national championships at Villanova and took the Wildcats to the Final Four this year. He's obviously made millions, and I would guess his mindset was and is, I don't need the aggravation anymore. It was telling that just a couple of weeks ago, he said he had an interest in coaching in the NBA. Jay Wright's retirement is a big loss for college basketball. Come on back again next time, and we'll visit inside the booth.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, W224EI Greenville, WDLX Washington, and W281CH Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? We'll keep it local and print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com, the official sportswear provider of Pirate Radio. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Rock.
All right, in studio, a couple of my smartest buddies, Chandler Honeycutt and Tony Dunn. Shirley Rhodes.
I am Mark.
CJ Schaefer, also here on a Friday. Schedule release Thursday night. Okay, couple things. It's not a big deal. It's really not. It's something to talk about. But I got a bone to pick with the guy that says, why do we have to do all this? Why can't they just release the schedule? Well, guess what, dummy? Guess what, guy saying that? They do. They did it last night at 8 o'clock. It's released right now for you. It'll be released tomorrow, Sunday, Monday, next week, next month, the next 2 months, the next 3 months. It's released. It's there. Go look at it. It's simple. You don't have to get caught up in all the crap, all the leaks, all the rumors, all the rollout. Go do something else with your life. They released it last night. It's released today. There's got to be more stuff to complain about than that. Like me complaining about this.
So, Taylor Lewan tweeted yesterday, Taylor Lewan, the left tackle, all-pro tackle for the Tennessee Titans. He said, the NFL schedule reveal is so overrated. Just tell us who we are playing.
They did! Last night at 8 o'clock!
Rich Eisen quote tweeted that and said, it's window dressing for content. Kind of like having a show on a bus with no motor. A shot at
busting at the boys reference.
Yeah, so a shot at Taylor Lewan and Will Compton, who have a podcast on a bus with no motor, which I enjoy that podcast. But
everything involving everything's overhyped. But everything in the NFL is overhyped. They started doing this. It's probably 10 to 15 years old now, where they start. I guess probably the introduction of the NFL Network, where they said, hey, we got 24 hours. Let's do a live show and break the schedule down. Okay, it's overhyped, but if you are a traditionalist and you just want to see the games, guess what? 8 o'clock last night, through the rest of time, you can go look at the schedule.
You know what I wish they would do?
What do you wish?
All right, so
'Cause
like
I got
a
a
couple
wish.
of months ago, it might have even been during the season. I can't remember, but they announced like who the home opponents are,
yeah,
and the away opponents. Of course, you know you're playing your division teams. I wish they would wait until the schedule release to tell us who we were playing.
So it's even more
division.
dramatic, more exciting. So
Yeah.
because you already know the opponent.
You know who the opponents are. You're just like,
But you can already figure it out.
already
because-
know anyway.
Because there's a system.
Now I don't know if the NFC. So I'm an NFC East guy. I don't know if NFC South, West, North, if that rotates every year, but I guess it does. I do know that every year the AFC conference division rotates.
Right.
So every 4 years you're playing that division.
Yeah.
I also know that if you finish last in your division, you are playing the other last place conference teams from your conference, division teams from your conference. So you pretty much know anybody. You just don't know who's home and away. That would be the only surprise of it all.
Yeah.
I miss the good old days of low def TV, analog reception, and where I could only watch 3 channels. Oh, and also where I had to be at a destination at a specific time to watch things.
Because
And
my
the world-
mom won't record it for me on the VCR.
Yeah, there was the world was just so much better.
Those
Taylor,
are called
LeJean.
the good old days.
The
Tony.
good old days of like, man, we have to watch cartoons on Saturdays.
There is something nostalgic about
releasing the schedule just with on a piece of paper.
For me, going to a Food Line or the bookstore or the pharmacy or whatever during a July day or late June, early July day, and checking out that magazine section and seeing the NFL magazine out where that had all the schedules.
There was something awesome about using the card catalog too. You know, I like gum in my baseball cards. Turns out I bought a lot of cheap Topps baseball cards back.
I wonder
in the
how
day.
much that gum has killed people over the years.
I'm healthy. Well, sort of.
Your voice
killed some brain cells.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Chad says just here to try to get my name on the radio. Will Clip say it? I just did.
We say it all the time.
You're such a Chad. You're probably the biggest Chad I know.
I get really irritated, and I'm not going to yell and scream like Clip did.
Please do.
I mean, I kind of need to wake up. Maybe I need like a Bang energy drink or something. You got one? You always have one.
I just finished one. It takes me about half the day to finish it.
Does it?
I don't know
Bounce
why.
it up the walls. But isn't it funny where people who make a living in an industry and benefit from our constant eyes and attention are like, I can't believe we're overdoing this. Taylor LeJean,
yeah,
our attention to your unimportant game.
Other things I can't believe that a guy that does what you do for a living, which is kind of press your hands against a man,
his boobs,
18 times a year, you're touching a man's breasts, and you're wearing these funny suits, like these funny matching clothing.
Yep. Tight. You're fat and you wear tight clothes.
And you do that and
make millions.
You get paid as much as you do to do that. You want to talk? I mean, we could really break down what doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I mean, this world, our attention to this. Don't worry, it's not the Twitter video that's ridiculous.
That is the least ridiculous thing about the sport of football, American football. All right, man, I'm into these videos. We'll get to the schedule in a moment, but I was showing Tony, who
slacker,
who's a very educated man. He is a professor at Pitt, but came in here today like a total mimbo. A man bimbo, and he's watching this video with his mouth agape. I don't understand any of this. So every team's putting out social media videos these days.
I feel like the Panthers were one of the leaders in this. From remember they did was it the Donkey Kong one or something like that?
Yes.
The old Nintendo.
We've done retro the past few years.
Yeah, we were on this retro thing before it was a thing,
and it's a copycat league that goes to the what's on the field and now what is off the field, because every team is trying to put out something cool and unique. And the Chargers won this year's schedule release video. They did it anime style, which I've never watched any anime stuff, but they have references of every team they're playing, and some of those references were they're playing the Jaguars, so they had a anime cartoon of an individual sitting at a bar, shoulders slunched over, with the low cut boat shoes or whatever. It was Urban Meyer wearing a Jaguar head.
Brilliant.
Same outfit that he had
Same
on
exact
in the video.
color outfit.
Yeah.
It had their matchup with Russell Wilson and the Broncos. It said "Let Russ Cook" on a headband, and in the background, Invesco Mile High Sports Authority, whatever the hell they call their stadium now, is on fire.
On fire.
Which was on fire.
It happened.
They played the Falcons. They had a black bird running into the Waffle House sign, and the sign said 28% off 3 waffles or more.
Which means the score in the Super Bowl. Where
Did
they
you know that?
Yeah.
You knew
Yeah,
that?
Chandler knew that immediately.
There's people out there that might not
There's probably a big old doofus that didn't understand that reference.
Who was that guy?
Nobody in this room.
What is the reference to Waffle House? Is there one?
It's a southern chain. Atlanta, yeah, South.
I mean, they could have went like Hardee's or something. Or
oh boy,
I feel like that would have been the Panthers, right? Didn't Jerry Jones, Jerry Richardson?
He founded Hardee's.
What do they call Hardee's west of the Mississippi?
Carlos Jr.
That is correct. What do they call Checkers? What's the other name for Checkers?
I don't know. In-N-Out Burger?
I believe it's Rallies. Anybody?
Rallies, that makes sense.
Anybody want to confirm that? CJ's on?
You know, I used to eat some Checkers back in the day. Like, 'cause you get, like, a lot of food for $5.
You know why I'm not a big Checkerhead? Because the location. That's a
tough
bitch to
in
get
and out
of.
Man, he is all edgy today.
Can you say that on there?
They had another reference. Y'all kind of spoke over me, so nobody heard it.
Good. Salty clip.
A little salty.
All right, Pat is one of our most intelligent people I know.
All right. Oh, I know he liked anime.
They knocked the W off.
The Waffle House?
So now he's saying
Awful House?
Awful is awful. I didn't catch that one. I thought they were just kind of knocking out a W as a win. But Pat's... you know what, Pat? If I missed some things, please help me out.
Now, everybody can kind of interpret it in their own way.
No.
I like that. It's kind of like in English, like...
No, if I miss something, I'm just a moron. But Clip misses something, and it's like, oh, man, I love how everybody can add to the conversation.
Looking at these release videos, it's like going into an art museum and going, I think it's this. I think it means this.
Did you see the painting with the 3 black lines in the middle of the white paper?
Rorschach.
What does that mean
It
to
really
you?
spoke to me.
Yeah.
It talked about our society really as a whole, I think. All right. Also, there was Kyler Murray deleting his social media posts. So the Chargers win.
Very good. They
Awesome
win.
references. Other ones, Tony, you want to check out if you got time. The Jets have this cartoon and kind of like bad animation. And
did Sam Darnold draw it?
Oh, is he the famous Panthers mascot, John?
Like the first thing we had him do when we signed him, which should have been a foreshadow to the disaster it was him trying to draw the logo of the Carolina Panthers, and it was terrible.
But they used bad animation and had real audio of like play-by-play speeches, pump-up speeches, and like put them out of context into other situations. Pretty clever. The Commanders at first I thought was very weak, but then I realized maybe this anger management rage room stuff is a new trend.
There's one in Greenville now. You knew that?
Tony,
do you advertise?
This is funny.
Let's get at it, Tony.
This is hilarious because Tony actually does listen to Pirate Radio a lot. He brings up references that we talk about during the week. Really, the last month or so.
Do you ever watch them?
A huge Thursday segment is the Anger Management Rage Room.
Well, I mean, okay. Sorry.
But no,
I'm late to the party.
I'm not blaming you for anything.
But I tell you what. You do know that there is one, and it's right here on Clark Street.
Yeah.
So,
and yesterday, Chandler's rage was Cam Newton not getting a birthday wish shout out from the Panthers.
Really?
All right, cool. We'll talk about that later. So the Commanders did a rage room type setup and just smashed a bunch of stuff. So
cool.
I didn't love it at first. I guess I'll like it a little more as we move on. It was
I thought the Panthers one was long.
It was like a movie.
The Panthers did a 90s throwback.
They really, all of these teams are leaning into their demographic, which is, 30 to 55-year-olds men. That's kind of where the lane of the NFL is. So you see the 90s references are big in all of this stuff. I mean, Dragon Ball Z, all this 90s stuff like that. They really like to go to the well with the Nintendo stuff.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point. That's the age they're reaching out to right now. The Falcons used a Rube Goldberg machine. So a domino hits a marble and it goes down a thing, and they used that. It was all right. The Broncos, I need to rewatch it. It was basically Russell Wilson.
Basically saying we have a new quarterback.
Doing stuff.
This is our schedule.
Wasn't that great. Packers used a golden tee, the motif. The
thing you see in tiebreakers?
The popular golf video game. Panthers 90s throwback. The Lions, did you see the Lions?
This one was my favorite.
Right.
So,
I'll watch it.
Do you know the viral video of the African American police officer, security guard, who does the personal defense safety technique?
Oh, yeah.
They had that guy doing different techniques of stripping the ball and doing stuff.
Oh, like the actual
guy was doing it.
Nice.
And it was pretty funny. Got to give him credit for that. Anytime you can bring in a celebrity or just a viral star, that's a good move.
And that's what his next team did.
Was the Broncos one, was it just Russell Wilson trying to break out the schedule out of Jerry Judy's car?
Ooh.
Too soon. Too soon.
That was good. Cowboys brought in Stephen A. Smith.
Notorious
smart
cowboy hater.
Right. And he just rant and raved and did a thing.
The Cowboys were like, hey, help us
it's
release
better
our
than
schedule
bringing in
by,
Skip Bayless.
I agree. I like when teams lean into the joke and all that. The Vikings, this is not as creative, but I like it. They brought in a legend. You remember John Randall, defensive tackle, used to have the eye black all down and was just a wild man. Great soundbite guy.
Purple People Eaters?
Nope, he was not. That was before this. John Randall did their schedule, did some skits. I thought it was cool bringing in a guy like that. And then the Bills went way out there, Eric Andre show style, just surreal, none of it makes sense. It's a guy eating wings. It's a guy eating birthday cake with his hands. There's a guy playing a bad guitar, and it's just surreal comedy. Like, it's not even funny. It's just, why are all these people doing this stuff?
Yeah, and then it's like
Josh Allen
comes in and goes,
and the guy eating wings has wings and ranch all over him, and he just starts rubbing Josh Allen's hand, and it's very creepy and strange. And Josh Allen says,
he's like, here's our schedule.
Yeah.
And then it pops up on the screen.
He's like, what is all this mean?
But
nothing.
If you know what the Eric Andre show is, you get it, and it's funny, which I didn't realize until halfway through. I was like, oh, I see what they're doing, because then the music from that show starts to kind of appear. But they're kind of taking a risk there doing that, because I feel like a lot of people.
So this is a new thing to go outside of your organization and get some sort of cameo star appearance type thing. So I think now the Panthers have to line up Mr. Beast.
North Carolinian?
Yeah. I mean, next year he would
do like skits with the players, like, if you do this, I'll let you play the Falcons week 1, and he has to do a certain task.
Perfect. We just already got next year's video.
Why do we do this free idea stuff?
I know.
Every day.
They'll make all the money. We'll just sit here and talk on
and we'll watch this movie and be like, oh, man, I wish they would just release the schedule on a piece of paper again.
I got an idea.
Okay.
Troy knows Mr. Beast's first name. Every time it's brought up, he says, that's Jimmy. I've touched him. He's friend.
Touched Jimmy.
So we can probably get Jimmy. We need to do the ECU schedule release. Just make a pirate radio video that'll go viral. That'll go huge.
And then somewhere, if he could just give me like $30,000 in this video, that would be pretty cool.
Well, it'll probably like fall out of his pocket during the day at some point.
Love it.
Yeah,
It's time to pick it up.
Yeah. Then all those dollars will be attached to strings, and he'll pull them, and we'll end up in some crazy room.
Hey,
I'm in.
Count me in.
They did a video at Bank of America Stadium with Cam Newton one time and actually set some sort of world record for something.
Really?
Was that a birthday present?
Mr. Beast, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was. What was it?
Yeah,
that was a good one.
Thank you.
Longest caught pass by a guy that was blindfolded.
Okay.
And Cam Newton's the one that threw the ball.
Yeah, so there's already a connection, Tony.
Yeah.
Tony.
I'm on to something.
That was a good call there. All right, so hey, kudos to these people. These are like, I bet the majority, if not all of these people that made these videos probably aren't even football people. They are content people, social media people that were hired by these companies to do something fun, creative, unique, and I think it's a lot of fun.
Panthers did include Thomas Davis.
He was
ice cream truck that he had.
Oh, he owns ice cream truck. I didn't know that.
I don't know if that's actually a thing or what, but the Panthers showed a video, like a behind the scenes, and the production that went in behind that video was like a movie scene. It was like they were getting ready to film a movie.
Well, when the big dog makes those great videos for us, he's not just shooting and throwing it up.
Oh,
there.
I know.
It's a lot of work.
I know.
Do you know?
I know. You know what? I know.
All right. Voice is getting high.
I know a little bit for sure.
NFL news as we take a break. Shirley Rhodes. Shirley did some. You got something?
I was gonna.
What do you got? No.
What do you got?
What do you got? Bring it.
Jarvis Landry is going to the New Orleans Saints. I don't know if that's what you saw.
No, that was not.
Oh, okay.
Landry to the Aints. I still don't know how to feel about the Saints with Jameis.
I think I'm getting tricked into doing what I've done for the last 3 years, which is expecting a drop off. It's like, and it hasn't come yet. I mean, last year was the first bit, but that was because they had an injured quarterback. Each year I thought, they're going to get old.
There has been
their
a steady
defense
drop off, hasn't there?
I don't really know if there's been. Their defense has been fantastic the whole time, and it just like, they won without Drew Brees. They won with Drew Brees.
It's kind of crazy that like Peyton Manning could barely throw a football, but had the best defense, and they won. Drew Brees at the end of his career could barely throw a football, and their defense won them games.
Yeah.
So, what if they played on those teams during the peak of their careers? If
I know,
they've been unstoppable, basically. The news I was going to say, and Shirley did some sleuthing on this. Former East Carolina wide receiver Tyler Snead is on the Pittsburgh Steelers rookie minicamp roster sheet. So he is getting a look, it appears.
Nice.
At least from that sheet. I've not talked to Tyler personally. Have not really seen it anywhere else. We just found a list of players who were at rookie minicamp for Pittsburgh.
And speaking of Pittsburgh Steelers and white guys and short white guys and receivers, former Pittsburgh Steeler and former Tar Heel Ryan Switzer is with the Carolina Panthers in their minicamp. Did not know that they invited veterans as well to the rookie minicamps, but Ryan Switzer, former punt return specialist.
Miss Labor, man, all lies, rookie minicamp, my butt.
Yeah, really. He walks in, hello, fellow kids, and does all that. Susan says Thomas Davis also owns an upscale wine bar. She's going to be checking it out next time she's in Charlotte. All right, let's take a timeout. We'll come back when we return. We'll look at the Panthers schedule. We'll see who has the most primetime games, all that fun
stuff. Not the Panthers.
Well, take a timeout, come back. More to go after this.
Hey guys, this is Kyra from Postcode Junction in Washington, where all your shipping needs come together. Did you know Postcode Junction is the only UPS, FedEx, and DHL shipping location in Washington? Postcode Junction is also the place for your Amazon returns. Need to ship a package the same day? Want to avoid the long lines at the post office? Come see us at Postcode Junction by 4:30 and we got you covered. Postcode Junction on 15th Street in Washington next to Tractor Supply. Go Pirates!
You've worked hard to make your business successful, and that's why it's really important to always have a bank that's in your corner when you need them. This is Chris Richards from First Bank, and our experienced team of local bankers includes Lee Watson, Ashley Capps, Bonner Latham, Josh Hooten, and Heath Nisbet. To get the business services that are right for your business, come and see one of our experienced team members at First Bank on Arlington Boulevard in Greenville. First Bank, together with our customers, we're creating a world where individuals and communities thrive. Member FDIC.
Welcome to US Cellular. Yeah, hi. I want a new phone for free, but not just any phone. I want the newest, fastest, most storage holding 5G unlimited data using phone in here for free. Sure, your choice. Really? Yep.
At US Cellular, we put you first. So choose any phone from any brand, free. Plus, get unlimited data for just $30 a month. US Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for US Cellular since 1997. Visit atlanticwireless.com to find the store near you. We go beyond the call.
Did you know time spent outdoors can help improve your children's health and bring balance to their life? The Outdoor Heritage Advisory Council invites you to join the Patch program. This program is for any child under the age of 16 and includes activities like fishing, hunting, and hiking. These are just one of the many ways you can earn the exclusive patches from the Outdoor Heritage Council. For more information on how to sign up and get your adventure started, visit outdoorheritage.nc.gov.
Before anyone walks into your business, the outside is what they see. Make sure your first impression is a good impression with the right curb appeal. Hi, this is Daniel Andrews from Dan Andrews Lawn Service. We specialize in making your business look great. Let us handle all your professional landscaping needs. We do it all so you don't ever have to worry. Residential services are also available. Call us today at 717-8006 and we'll come out and give you a free quote. Taking care of your landscaping needs is all we do, and we've been doing it for over 20 years. You can trust our reliable team at Dan Andrews Lawn Service, covering all of Eastern North Carolina.
Hey, Troy here with my buddy Cam from Tailgate Classics, the only vintage store here in Greenville selling all types of cool stuff. Cam, you got something new for folks too that just hit.
Yes, sir. If you guys have had some good times back in the 90s at some of your favorite places like Grogg's, The Elbow, and tons of other old businesses, we're doing a retro line of t-shirts that are available now.
Fantastic. So if you enjoyed hanging out at those places, now you can wear the gear. How can folks find you online too?
That's shoptailgateclassics.com or come see us in person at 304 Evans Street.
Although innovative new resources such as digital media and social networks have grown in popularity, smart marketers recognize that printing is a mainstay.
We live in an age of computer hacking, scams, and fly-by-night businesses, so it's reassuring to consumers when they receive printed marketing pieces.
It exemplifies business confidence and conveys a high level of commitment.
It also fosters trust, which leads to engagement and ultimately brand loyalty.
When you're ready to grow your business, come to PIP, where business goes to grow.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
This is Coach Donnie Kirkpatrick, offense coordinator for ECU football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. For the latest breaking news, interesting stories, and awesome contests that can make you a winner, be sure to follow Pirate Radio on our social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at PR927FM. You can join the over 55,000 followers today. And speaking of breaking news, just got this moments ago, and it looks like there has been a time change for Sunday's ECU game with South Florida. That game is now going to have a 12:30 start for Sunday afternoon. Clip.
Okay. What time is it supposed to be?
1 o'clock, I think.
Okay.
And Sunday's.
I just got the notification.
I know. I got it as well.
And Sunday's supposed to be the prettiest day of the weekend.
All right. 12:30. Plan accordingly. Yeah, so that's Sunday's game. So Saturday's game is still at 4. Sunday's is moved up 30 minutes.
And tomorrow's going to be a ugly day.
Is it going to be raining again?
That's what it looks like.
Here comes the rain again, falling on your head like a tragedy. All right, schedule release was last night. If you don't care about the hoopla, just look at the damn schedule. It's out. Simple as that. Easy peasy.
Like, why? Again, it's like you could just not look at any of the videos, like you're saying. Like,
I know.
like you
It's
could just
very
do what
simple.
I did.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't come in here and be like, oh my God, I can't believe they made all these videos I didn't watch.
Tony gets his morning cup of coffee, opens up the newspaper, and takes a look at it. All right, so let's see what stands out, if anything, about the Panthers schedule. First
It's
of all,
brutal. That's what it is.
How so?
I just feel like that first 6 weeks. Now, I mean, there might be some breaks. Like, I think, you might have Cleveland without Deshaun Watson. That'd be cool.
Because you get them week 1.
Week 1, and then the matchups in there are pretty interesting. Ike Ekwonu, his first test will be Myles Garrett. You also have J.C. Horn coming back from the injury that he sustained last year. He will be going up, you would assume, against the new receiver for the Browns, Amari Cooper. So just a couple of matchups there to keep an eye on.
Cardinals tough.
Week 4, Cardinals won't have DeAndre Hopkins.
That
There's
is
a little
helpful.
bonus
Yeah,
if you want that.
I just hate that. That's what we're rooting. You know, it's like, thank God we don't have Hopkins. But actually, you know what? I probably would be like that if he was hurt.
Well, I wonder what the odds are, Tony. What are they, in your opinion, on Watson or Baker week 1? Who you get? I mean, I think Watson's there. Like, when are they going to come down with some kind of ruling?
What? Somebody can you pull up the Cleveland schedule? Someone said that they thought the nugget of telling us when Deshaun Watson is when they was going to be available. With you start to see them load up primetime games in the schedule.
Okay, well, let's take a look at it.
When they're 1 o'clock.
So they have a week 3 Thursday nighter against Pittsburgh. They have
Sunday.
So isn't it like maybe a 6-game suspension perhaps?
Well, it could be 2, it could be 4, or it could be 6, or it could be a whole season.
Week 8 they do have a big one against the Bengals at home on Monday Night Football, and looks like that's it.
Is that all? Okay,
yeah.
So not as big of a nugget as I thought.
Yeah, that's one of those.
Unless
where
it's a 2-game suspension, and that first primetime game is.
You know, sometimes you get nuggets and like there's a little one and they count it on how many you're supposed to get. That's how they get you, folks.
Yes,
that's how they get you. Chandler,
I was going to say the Panthers will catch a break 2 years in a row with the Cardinals. No DeAndre Hopkins this year when we faced them. Last year they did not have Kyler Murray or
That's
DeAndre
right.
Hopkins.
You're right.
So yeah,
I had a trivia question on Wednesday night, and Tony, you did pretty good on the. You didn't play. But you did pretty good on the NFL ones, especially. But it was name all the Cardinals starting quarterbacks between when they drafted Matt Leinart and when they drafted Kyler Murray. And it was a bad list.
It's a tough list.
And some of those started, at least one, like Ryan Lindley started a playoff game against you guys. And they have had some bad QB. I mean, Kurt Warner was a highlight. Carson Palmer is a name.
I think that was our 7-8-1 season where we not only did we back into the playoffs, but then got a home game
against Ryan Lindley.
Yeah, and a playoff
I
win.
did pull Ryan Lindley out because I do remember that wild card game. Clip, I don't think you had Colt McCoy on that list. He started that game last year.
And that's because Kyler Murray was drafted before Colt McCoy started that game last year.
Salty Clip.
The question was...
What was the question?
Name the starting quarterbacks between when Matt Leinart was drafted and when Kyler Murray was drafted.
I think you should retire from sports trivia.
Colt McCoy started that game after Kyler Murray was drafted.
I'm thinking about retiring. I think I need to retire.
You'll be the second retirement of this week.
Big news coming out of AJ McMurphy.
No, you weren't the only team to say Colt McCoy, but as the question stated, Colt McCoy.
That makes sense.
Loophole.
That is a problem.
We call that a loop. Loophole.
I have a problem with that at AJ's on Wednesday
Poor
night.
Shirley.
It's not.
She doesn't care.
It's not reading the question carefully.
Yeah, you got
and that is key.
Reading comprehension is
and
the
you
key.
have to rise to that trivia standard.
Speaking of Lou, saw some. Did I see Luke Kuechly on TV this week?
Yes.
You did
What's
twice.
he doing?
Yeah, he's working for
NFL.
ESPN. He looks like he's going to be working for ESPN.
Speaking of deals, how about Tom Brady's deal, Tony? We're kind of bouncing around here. Stay with
love
us,
it,
folks.
love it. Tell me some of the details about this. I hear it's like a crazy amount of money.
10-year, $375 million, which they put that number beside his career earnings in the NFL,
And it's more.
and it's more.
It's awesome.
I mean, that goes back
And
to the Taylor
then
Lewan
you had to
stuff.
see, I think it's Floria, whoever runs the Pro Football Talk.
Mike Floria.
I mean, I guess he's running the social media account some. I had some info.
No, it's him. It's all, and I have always said I wish the show was still on Pirate Radio because I love NFL Talk 24/7. Love the show. Do not like Mike Floria. He is a very holier than thou for no reason at all guy.
He came out and said, "Can you believe playing a guy this much when you've never heard him behind the mic before? If he's not going to be good." And you're like, it's like he could just be Joe Montana, they said.
Everybody should be thanking Tony Romo for this because he became a star immediately. And now Drew Brees got a deal and he kind of stinks. He's very boring. Maybe he'll get better, but he was not good. Romo and Greg Olson is good and will probably have a long future as a color guy, I would think. But this is, I think, a lot based off of Romo and the big hit he was to go right to the number one chair and be an absolute stud at it.
Well, and Tom Brady does have a lot of radio experience. You know what I mean?
He's
He
on
does
with Jim Gray every Monday night.
every Monday, and you can catch that on Pirate Radio.
Good, great plug. So he does, and
so it's not like he's not behind the mic at all. I would prefer to see Tom Brady on one of those morning shows where not like The View, but like Good Morning America or something like where they do the they'll have the guest cook come in.
Yeah.
And it's like 8 o'clock in the morning, and they have to eat some real meal, and you see these people going and pecking at it and stuff, and they're eating this. I would just love to see Tom Brady be forced to eat regular food on television. He'd be like,
I'm sorry, this is not on the TB12 menu. Can't do it. Yeah.
It'd be like fake take a bite.
That's a good point. That's So Brady will be a part of the number one team for Fox because Buck and Aikman are going to Monday Night Football on ESPN. Washington has a game on Amazon Prime this year. And do the Panthers have a Thursday nighter?
Yes, against the Falcons.
Is that Amazon Prime?
Does it got to be after a certain
Prime Video?
Nice.
And that will be. Do you know who's calling that game, Tony?
Hold on. Somebody got a big contract with Prime.
Two guys did that have never worked together before.
Tirico?
No, he's going to be Sunday Night Football, right?
Yep.
I like him.
Al Michaels and a college football guy. When you think about his name, Kirk
Herbstreit.
Yeah. Well said, Chandler. You got through that almost perfectly.
That was terrible. Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit.
A burglary.
Thank you.
Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit.
That's the team.
All right. I have a quick question. Why is it so hard for them to get these crews right? You know, it's like, how is it that
I don't necessarily think they're wrong.
Monday night.
Now, Monday night has been an issue.
And then they finally just get two guys that do it well.
The top dogs.
Yeah.
This is
I like Tirico.
it's not
Michael. Why don't they just use these dudes that are good at it? And they have kind of
It's all about the money.
Dance.
Oh, well, see, this was probably an issue. I think they had it right with Tirico, but he left for NBC.
Right.
Yeah.
And there might have been more money. I don't know. And he was kind of underutilized at NBC for a while.
Yes.
But
Tirico,
maybe they told him you are next in line to Michaels, and he is going to slide right in there and probably kill it. This is not the first time this happened with ESPN. You remember when we were coming up, Tony, it was Al and Dan Deerdorf and the old Giants player, Kathy Lee. What was Regis and Kathy Lee? What was Kathy Lee's like? Gifford. Frank Gifford, Al, Dan, Frank. And then it went to Al and John Madden.
Right, which was like the golden
standard. And then You know what? I might have got that. When did like the Dennis Miller and Kornheiser and all that crap start?
Gosh.
Because they messed it up for a while there, and I think fixed it with Al and Madden.
Yeah,
finally got back to that. So this is like the second time in a cycle where ESPN's like, you know what? We just need to put some damn Hall of Famers in there and call it a day.
Yes.
So and that's what they've done. So
you got to wonder how they're how ESPN is gonna survive through all these changes. You know, with the TV contracts in the future horizon, the new players like Amazon. Some people are saying, I mean, really, the DirecTV contract now is up for bids, and it's not going to be
Sunday Ticket's going to go to like Apple TV or something.
Now I got to get another thing.
Yeah,
I mean that's better than having to get DirecTV.
You better go ahead and get it now. It's pretty cheap.
Really?
And I wonder if it's going to what it's going to look like.
Dude, like when I got Hulu, you mean when I started with Hulu it was $44, now it's $70 for the live TV.
Are you grandfathered in?
No.
I'm guessing not.
No.
So is that going to be? That's got to be another service. It's not going to be like Prime Video, where if you got Prime, you can watch the NFL game, right?
Wouldn't it? Actually, it would be a fantastic way to just bring in 1 billion users.
Hell yeah!
And not charge $250 for the ticket, but just say, hey, we want Apple subscribe, because you're not going to cancel Apple TV at the end of the season, right? Or I wouldn't if it was like a $20 a month or something, $15 a month.
Yeah.
I mean, Amazon Prime, they're not charging extra for the games.
No.
They're trying to get people to come in.
ESPN Plus, you can watch everything, but they do have those pay-per-views that are up there. That's an additional price.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, Tony. Maybe for year one, they just say, all you got to do is subscribe to Apple TV and you get the ticket.
It would be a way to bring people. See, I don't have Apple products, so to me, like even getting Apple TV seems strange. Like I have to open my mind to the idea it's not.
No, it's just
a streaming
channel.
Service. Yeah,
basically.
it's just a streaming service. But that, I think the branding would help the branding. And just, I know we're all over the place, but like as you see the stock market do crazy stuff this week, and Netflix has just been demolished, they still have something like 10 times the amount of subscribers as like the next like HBO Max, or it's like they're adding 250 million subscribers. And the other ones have like 30.
Well, we talked about this too. Netflix, it was like the first.
Yep.
And B, it is the easiest to use and
the smartest.
Like and I have them all, and it bums me out, but like there are shows and things that I like on each one, and now I'm overwhelmed by them.
I know.
But I would go. Like my default, if I don't know what I want to watch, is Netflix, because it's so easy to use and it's like an old shoe at this point.
It's friendly. It's user friendly, and the algorithm, man, is just is great. And then once you realize when it says 98%, that doesn't mean it got 98% likes. It means it's matched to your brain, 98% match for you. And that's actually my knock with the other stream, particularly HBO Max. I think is the worst platform. It's like so cumbersome and awful to navigate.
Which is probably has the best pound for pound.
Do you think? I think it's overrated.
Well, once you see those HBO shows, you're probably not going to go back to them.
Right.
But let's say you're starting from scratch. If you
got a good couple of heavy hitters,
The Wire, Game of Thrones, Sopranos, everything ever that's been on HBO, plus the new movie releases with the Batman and Joker and Dune, which I have not watched, but I think pound for pound, it's probably the best just because of all that.
They do have a good deep catalog, man. The Wire, whenever you get to throw the Wire out, it's like we win.
Chad says, I miss Booger on Monday Night Football. He's not on the broadcast anymore, so you can't see him on the broadcast, so I miss him telling me what I already know.
Well done. He really saved that tweet.
The Booger Mobile was the thing. You remember they Booger, we don't want you in studio this year. We're going to
drive it around on this ATV.
It's literally...
We're going to jack up a go-kart.
It's like the thing that camera people use.
What's the term?
Like some sort of crane.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called. Boy, we have talked a lot about nothing today, and we're almost out of time.
There's nothing to talk about.
That is true.
Oh, wait, all these really cool schedule release videos that I shouldn't have done.
We'll talk more about the Panthers not giving Cam Newton a birthday wish.
Oh, wow.
I would love to hear Tony's take on that.
Travesty.
Well, Taylor,
You better get mad. As much as you love Cam Newton, you better get mad.
Don't you worry. I'm going to get mad.
Get mad, baby. Get mad.
we'll be back and wrap up hour 2 with Tony Dunn, CarolinaCatChronicles.com on a Free Beer Friday, giving out some Margaritaville Tropical Punch today on the show. We're back with you after this.
All aboard! Hop on the Emerald Express for a free ride through the Uptown District every Thursday through Saturday from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. The continuous loop begins and ends at GK Butterfield Transportation Center, but you can hop on and off at any of the 13 stops. With stops along Dickinson Avenue, Evans Street, the Town Common, and more, the Emerald Express is the perfect way to travel in the Emerald City. This trolley runs every 20 minutes, but don't worry, the stops are all footsteps away from all the businesses in the Uptown District.
Hello, Eastern North Carolina. If you're looking for a great place to work with competitive pay and advancement opportunities, Pitt County Schools is hiring. We employ over 3,000 people, and we're one of the largest employers in Pitt County. Pitt County Schools is currently seeking teachers, bus drivers, school nutrition personnel, facility staff, custodians, clerical staff, and more. We offer advanced leadership opportunities for our educators and competitive pay for our skilled labor force. Come work for a diverse, thriving school system and be an important part of ensuring success for the students of Pitt County who are the future of Eastern North Carolina. To fill out an application, visit our website today at pittschools.org. That's pittschools.org, or go directly to our job postings at bit.ly/PCS employment. That's bit.ly/PCS employment. Pitt County Schools, engaging, empowering, and elevating every student and every staff member every single day.
When a storm hits, you can count on Greenville Utilities. They put their emergency storm plan into action to restore power as quickly and safely as possible. If you experience an outage, call them toll-free at 1-855-767-2482. The automated hotline can handle a large number of calls at once, virtually eliminating busy signals, so help can be on the way as fast as possible. Remember, GUC's emergency hotline number is 1-855-767-2482.
Welcome to US Cellular. Yeah, hi. I want a new phone for free, but not just any phone. I want the newest, fastest, most storage holding 5G unlimited data using phone in here for free.
Sure, your choice.
Really?
Yep.
At US Cellular, we put you first. So choose any phone from any brand free. Plus, get unlimited data for just $30 a month. US Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
We all love using Uber Eats, DoorDash, and grocery pickup. It makes life so much easier. Well, now there is cellular delivery, and the team at Cellular Warehouse has perfected the process. They will deliver your new phone right to your door with all your information loaded on the new phone. And the best thing is there is no charge for this awesome service. And you don't have to waste half the day sitting in a Cellular store. Call Toby Williams today at 252-799-7051 and let his team of experts make your cellular delivery today. Cellular Warehouse, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent, serving all of Eastern North Carolina.
The Rick House is Eastern North Carolina's premier American-style restaurant and bourbon bar with daily specials. And here's the lineup. Mondays feature $7 margaritas and half-price appetizers. Tuesday is stuffed seafood night. Wednesday is date night. Thursday is roasted smoked lamb chop night. Fridays is prime rib night. And Saturday is Italian night and is also Fred and Wilma night with our 36-ounce bone-in tomahawk steak just like the Flintstones. And on Sunday, it's our legendary brunch from 10 to 2. The Rick House, American Provisions and Spirits, 710 Red Banks Road beside the bowling alley in Greenville.
This is Stephen Igo. You've heard from me plenty on Pirate Radio Live and perhaps have read some of my work on hoistthecolors.net. Now, get an extension of our in-depth coverage on the Hoist the Colors podcast. From game previews to immediate post-game analysis to emergency podcasts for breaking news, we've got you covered. A cast of guest co-hosts from fans, former coaches, and other writers join me for 2 podcasts weekly to break down all things ECU athletics. Subscribe to Hoist the Colors now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts.
This is Coach Blake Carroll, defensive coordinator for East Carolina football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Did you miss a show on Pirate Radio? Well, you can listen to all of Pirate Radio's archived local programming by subscribing to us on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, or Spotify. Subscribe today by going to the podcast app on your iPhone or Apple device and search for Pirate Radio Audio Archives. Now let's head back into PRL. Here is your host, Cliff Brock.
All right, back with you here, Pirate Radio Live on a Friday. Somebody's going to be wasted away again in Margaritaville. Coming up in the 5 o'clock hour, Margaritaville Tropical Punch can be yours if you are the lucky caller in hour number 3. Sim. Is Sim throwing some shade on Cam Newton here on a Friday? Tony's angry. We got Tony angry, Chandler, because Sim says, did you say Cam and Mr. Beast made a video about the longest pass to a blindfolded receiver? Cam would have to be blindfolded, too, just to hit an open receiver. Hey-oh! Panthers fans, your thoughts?
I don't respond to people that don't have a profile picture. Egghead, as they used to call him.
Interesting take. Chandler, anything for Sim?
I don't know. Went to the Super Bowl without Kelvin Benjamin and a bunch of no names.
You look a little salty.
I mean, why don't you have the decency to capitalize your own dang name?
All right. So
I'm just going to look up his stats. Whatever.
Taking shots back at Tony yesterday in a segment that is very popular that we've been doing the last few weeks, the Anger Management
Rage
Room.
It's called Anger Management Rage Room.
Did you hear there's a Rage Room here?
There's one here in Greenhalgh.
Anger, mgmtnc.com for more information.
Well done.
Chandler was there not too long ago, said they had a new Subaru in there you could tear up.
I need to go.
Actual car?
Oh, yeah.
They have 2 rooms with a car in each one.
Grab you a baseball bat, just go to town.
I think my go-to would be like a golf club.
All right.
I think that would be a good go-to.
You're what's Tiger's ex-wife?
Yeah.
Elian, what was her name? Don't know.
Rich.
Call me Rich for short. Chandler's rage yesterday was Cam Newton did not get a birthday wish from the Panthers. He was very upset about it.
And you should have seen or heard the just beatdown that I got from that.
From what?
From us saying why he should not get a birthday shout out from the Panthers. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna probably side with Clip and them on this one.
Why? Why? Golly, I was afraid this
because I'll let Tony say why.
Look, who cares?
Well, there's that, but also,
I mean, he's not with the team right now. He's an active player. They're still in negotiations together, potentially, they say, which everybody, I'm just tired of hearing it, period.
And on Thursday, Tony, the Panthers did wish Steve Smith a happy birthday.
Okay.
Why did they do that?
Because he's retired and
that's
eligible
one reason
for the Hall of Fame, and now back on good terms with the team.
And he's on the preseason radio team, right?
Yeah.
He's like affiliated with it.
Okay. All right. I'm still going to be mad about it.
I think Cam Newton needs to retire before they can. You know, Matt, would you want them to wish him a happy birthday if he was like on the Falcons? Like if he signed a 1-year deal with the Falcons?
But Cam Newton's not on a team right now.
Okay. I think it would also create this stir, too, of, are the Panthers bringing Cam back and this and that. I think it was
now
more,
I can see that.
I think you got more of a point when they didn't give him the farewell announcement.
I know. Look, and I see that, and I didn't even think about that there is a potential situation to bring him back and do all that kind of stuff. And maybe they didn't want to trigger some sort of, because there is fans out there that take just the little thing, and run with it. So I could see that.
That's us.
I understand, but I'm still
Can you
upset.
imagine a fan that would watch a team's social media account and then see them not post a birthday announcement and run with that? That would be, there are fans like that.
We call those fanatics, wackadoodles. Nut jobs.
That's what we are, though. I'm the same way. I'm to the point like this is like, because the reason I don't want it, I don't care, is because every time we got to hear this Sims guy. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Chandler,
look, I need a break.
I like having fun at your expense, taking the other side because it's fun. But if you could see the amount of time I've wasted yelling into the black void that is Washington's social media account on Twitter. I've wasted probably 3-4 years
of his life
of
and
tweets.
And social media has only been around since 2009.
Yeah. So, dude, I'm with you, man. This particular instance, you sound like a complete and utter moron.
No, he just sounds like a good friend of Cam Newton.
I sound like a
You
moron?
care.
Yeah.
No, you don't sound like a moron.
I'm saying yes.
All right, you're taking it too far by calling me a moron because I have a love and respect for this quarterback.
He's already
that's done
been
so much
fired this past week.
Who got fired?
Chandler.
Oh, from being a commissioner?
That was last week, and that was a disaster.
I know.
And I'm so glad that I'm out of that office, and I'm glad that the situation's over, quite frankly.
I think you should have thrown a burger at Troy and said I quit, like in Half-Baked. Yeah.
Another mid-90s remove you reference for Tony Dunn to get out today. All right, Tony, we didn't really break down the schedule release at all. We'll have
not one bit.
We got something to talk about next week, though.
We'll have all off season to do that. C3 podcast. You said you had your shortest show of the year, which still went over 2 hours.
I was about to say it was still probably 2.5 hours.
It was 2 hours on the dot.
But we're getting to the lean times. Well, and that's bad because like June and July is really lean. But that's when they open up the camps and stuff.
Yeah, they have rookie mini camps right now, so there'll be like 3 days. Aren't they only like 3 days or something like that? It's not long, so you'll see them. They did a couple of interviews. I saw Matt Corral talking and stuff like that to the media. So you get a little bit of that, and then we'll have a month, I feel like, before you get the next set of workouts, and then another month, I think, at that point to get to training camp.
NFL is king, though, and they'll have some sort of stuff.
Well, you know, you're watching this is the time where no news is good news.
I'd say it for a reason, and I repeat it, and Broncos fans are finding it out today.
Which, by the way, that story is like a nothing burger.
Yeah. It sounds like a spat, and it wasn't like a serious one, but like...
He just wouldn't unlock his car.
He was mad at his girlfriend because she did something, so he in return wouldn't unlock his car for her to get some items or something. So
yeah, and then he just probably went inside and misdemeanor.
Man, it's probably going to be.
This is the problem. This is what happens with. No, I probably shouldn't say that.
No, we're out of time.
Call the police. People get arrested.
All right, we have a surprise guest coming up. Jill Jelnick, former East Carolina softball player, who is on the call this week in Greenville with ESPN Plus. She has moved on. I believe she's in the Nashville network because she tweets a lot about. Yeah, she's with Fox Nashville, Fox 17 in Nashville, Tennessee. Tweets about the Titans and stuff. But Jill said they just wrapped up and she's gonna join us on the show when we return. So we'll talk to her for a few minutes.
Any thoughts on why we still just have the old microphones? Like how this hasn't changed in society yet. Like why don't they just get the little...
Telephones have changed. Microphones over the years, and there's some that look... But the stand-up microphone has stood the test of time.
Interesting.
Great comment. Great. You know, you can't bring up great points like that when we got to go because we could talk about this for an hour. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back hour 3. Brian North, Greeny, and Jill Jelnick will join us when we return Pirate Radio Live on a Friday after this.
In studio with Jeff Stein from Brown & Wood. What's new, Jeff?
You know, everybody's thinking we're having some inventory issues in the car business, which some of it's true. But the good news is, you know, we're getting vehicles from the factory every single week. So what the customer can do is come in, get an appraisal on their trade-in if they have one. They can pick a vehicle that's incoming and actually kind of build it how they want. And then when it gets here in the next 6 to 8 weeks, they're actually taking delivery of a new vehicle.
Brown & Wood, your #1 dealership in Greenville and the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
Thursday, September 1st. Save that date, Pirate Nation, because the Pirate Radio Football Kickoff Party is back.
That's right. The excitement for the 2022 football season is building every day, and we are super pumped about the return of the Pirate Radio Football Kickoff Party presented by Bud Light on Thursday, September 1st.
Save the date now and stay tuned for more details coming soon about the Party of the Year, just days before ECU takes on the Pack in Greenville.
We are Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
The only way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the only way to get it is at Jersey Mike's, because authentic ingredients make a sub above. Jersey Mike's would like to dedicate the next 3 seconds to our new grilled portobello mushroom and Swiss sub. Trust us, it tastes good too, because fresh ingredients make a sub above.
Pirate fans, the 2022 football season is going to be one for the record books. East Carolina is coming off a 7-win bowl season, and 2022 is shaping up to be even better. The Pirates need you to pack Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium this fall with a great home slate that includes in-state rival North Carolina State. The American Conference schedule features home games against UCF, Memphis, Houston, and Navy. Season tickets are on sale for as low as $125. Get your tickets today by visiting ECUPirates.com.
Do you have any real estate questions about buying or selling residential or commercial properties? Are you curious about this current real estate market? Do you need a property manager for all your rental houses? This is proud ECU alum Scott Harris with RE/MAX Preferred Realty and SD Harris Properties, and I would love to help answer every question you have and show you a real estate experience that will be memorable and enjoyable. Every step of the way, I'm here to make your dreams a stress-free reality. Call me today at 347-1857. That's 347-1857. Go Pirates.
UBE and PirateWear.com is excited to offer Pirate Nation the largest selection of new ECU merchandise and tailgate supplies ever. UBE has the best prices in town, so that makes UBE your one-stop shop for all things ECU. UBE does daily restocks of Champion, Adidas, and Under Armour. Don't forget to bring your young Pirates in to plunder the Crow's Nest, which is the only kids store dedicated to ECU. Plenty of free parking uptown in Greenville. Visit them at PirateWear.com. Go Pirates!
I can't think of anyone who doesn't love a clean car, but how often do you actually go to the car wash? Does it take too long, or maybe it's just not a very nice place? Tommy's Express changes everything. Our wash is bright, inviting, clean, and fast.
I love the flat conveyor belt. So easy to pull onto, much smoother ride, and safer for my car.
And when you join Tommy Club, you can wash as often as you like for one low monthly price.
I save money and time.
We're Tommy's Express.
At the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Red Banks Road, Greenville.
While you're sleeping, our whole hogs are slow cooking over wood to create that bite that Eastern North Carolina is known for. I'm Sam Jones, and for more than 3 generations, my folks have been the torchbearers for what whole hog barbecue is supposed to be. At Sam Jones, you'll find plenty of smoke, but no mirrors. Everything, and I mean everything, is made fresh daily, including our sides, sweets, and sauces. Come on over and see us at Sam Jones Barbecue, and I bet you'll be able to taste our passion in just one bite. Sam Jones Barbecue, Fire Tower Road.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Tiebreakers is open every day at 11 a.m. and is the best place to watch your favorite sports while enjoying the best wings in town, along with sandwiches, appetizers, cold beer, and more. Follow Tiebreakers on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates. Tiebreakers in Greenville at Bells Fork and in downtown Winterville on Railroad Street. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Rock.
All right, the tough thing about live radio is sometimes your guests, schedules can change. They'll have other obligations and won't be able to come on. But the great thing about live radio is sometimes the guests the schedules change and things happen, and they're able to join you while you're on live radio. We had hoped to talk to Jill Jelnick today. Softball schedule got moved around a little bit, and she's done for the day out at Max R. Joyner Family Stadium, calling games at the American Athletic Conference Softball Championships, and she's able to join us for a few minutes. Her old stomping grounds at East Carolina, former ECU softball player, now working at Fox Nashville, Tennessee, and she is on the call this weekend for the games. And Jill, it is great to have you back in Greenville and great to have you back on Pirate Radio. How you doing?
Clip, I'm great, and even better now I'm back on Pirate Radio. I'll be honest, when I knew I was coming into Greenville, I thought 2 things. 1, I hope Clip calls me. I hope I get a call so I can jump on the show. And 2, I hope Brian Bailey steps aside so I can jump in his sportscast for a second on Channel 9, my old station. But that's okay. I'll hopefully see him later. But
Hey, 1 out of 2 ain't bad, and I'm pretty sure if you offered, Bailey would take the night off and let you slip right in there.
I know, right? He's nervous that if I get in there, I won't leave. But no, I'm super excited to be back in Greenville. Haven't been back in a while, and I'm actually literally sitting in the bleachers at Joyner Stadium. I've been here since 7 a.m., but I actually still don't want to leave because this place just has so many memories for me. And I also asked USF, South Florida, and Wichita State to hurry it up just so that I can jump on this call. So you're welcome.
What a veteran, what a legend. And that is pretty neat, Jill, that you're able to get back to, again, where you had so many softball games as an East Carolina Pirate. So how did you once again are in Nashville now, Nashville, Tennessee. So how did you get the call to be the voice for these games, these AAC championship games here in Greenville?
Yeah, Cliff, to be honest, since I got into sports broadcasting, I've really, and again, thanks to Greenville and WNCT, that's where my journey started with local sports, but then I kind of got the opportunity to jump in some softball games and be an analyst for a couple collegiate softball games right when E+ started to become big. They needed more analysts, and I was like, hey, I would love to talk about a sport that I put my blood, sweat, and tears in for 4 years, and so a couple years ago when I was in Chattanooga, I jumped on some E+ games, and then each stop of my journey, Chattanooga, then San Antonio for 3 years, and now Nashville, I've been able to kind of balance that freelance work of being an analyst for ESPN Plus on top of my local sports job. I'm in Nashville now, as you mentioned. I'm a sports director at Fox 17, which definitely keeps me on my toes, but I always try hard to put in some softball games in my schedule, even if it's on my off days. So the spring season is definitely a busy time for me, but I'm telling you, when I do these games, it doesn't feel like work. It's so much fun seeing these girls out here going all out, especially the tournament time, which I always have a personal connection to because my first year, 2011, was the last time ECU softball won this tournament. It was here in Greenville. First year the stadium was ever broken into. We won the tournament and went to regionals, and that was actually the last time ECU softball made it to the NCAA postseason tournament. So I love that in my job I'm able to kind of keep in touch and touch base with that former athlete self of mine.
That's awesome, and we're trying to get back, and hopefully Shane Winkler can be the guy that brings this program back into a regional. And I said this, Jill, and hopefully this tournament will be back in Greenville once Shane Winkler is able to put his stamp on the program. It was awesome he could have it year one here, but you bring it back here 3 or 4 years from now, could be a different story than East Carolina going one and done as they did on Thursday, losing to a very good pitcher and a very good team for South Florida. So what's your take on Coach Winkler and this softball program? I know, Jill, more than anything, you want to see this program succeed.
Oh, Cliff, you couldn't have said that better yourself. I really, it's been hard watching, ECU softball go through its roller coaster, but I've had the privilege of working with Coach Winkler and calling a couple of ECU's games this year, a couple in Knoxville when they faced the Lady Vols, and so I've been following their season maybe more closely this year than before, and I'm telling you, Coach Winkler, he has something special about him. He is so passionate about not just bringing that glory, that promise back to ECU softball, but he wants to do it the right way. And every time I talk to him, the first thing he mentions is, we're building the culture the right way. We have to build a winning culture, but to do that, we got to break everything down and build a strong foundation. And that starts with having strong relationships with his players, recruiting, which I know he has some exciting players coming in, and just doing things the right way. It's hard. This is a very hard conference. American Conference is so competitive. It's the 6th best conference in collegiate softball, and so to be in the middle of a rebuild, really the first stages of a rebuild is tough when you're facing number 16 UCF and Georgina Corrick with South Florida. It's so tough, but he's driven, he's passionate, goal-oriented, and he has a great pedigree and some great coaching staff as well to back up what he's doing. So I'm just excited. I think the future is really bright for Pirate softball.
Jill Jonick joining us on the Pirate Radio Live line. Jill, who is left standing after Friday's action? Who's going to be playing for a championship?
Yeah, championship tomorrow, I believe at 9 a.m. It's going to be 16th ranked UCF, the regular season American softball champions, against the number 3 seed South Florida. Georgina Korick did a nice job today, and they were able to hold off Wichita State, who came in as the number 2 seed. So South Florida with a little bit of an upset over Wichita State today, an exciting one-run game. All these games have been really exciting, but UCF against South Florida, if anybody listening is looking for some good softball or something to do tomorrow, come down to Joyner Stadium. I'm telling you, there's gonna be a lot of fireworks in this game tomorrow. It should be a good one.
That is a free event for folks to check out and a great way to start your Saturday. I'll be out at Clark LeClaire coming up on Saturday afternoon and on Sunday, and might stop by and check out that softball championship beforehand. Jill, how about outside of the stadium? What are you doing this evening? How are you going to spend your time back in Greenville? You got any old spots you want to hit?
Well, I hit up Winslow's last night.
Okay.
It isn't Winslow's anymore.
Correct.
I was like, wait a minute. So I learned that, but luckily they still have that cinnamon raisin dip that I love with sweet potato fries. That's literally the only reason why I went back for that sweet cinnamon dip. So hit up that yesterday, and I'll be honest, I heard Shirley mention it, Tiebreakers. That was a place that I loved when I was a post-student athlete. And so I think I might have to make Brian Bailey buy me a couple of rounds. I think he owes me, I'm sure, for something. So when he gets done with his sports cast, we might head over to Tiebreakers, and love to see anybody else if they want to join us.
There you go. Sounds like a plan for a Friday evening. Jill Jonick joining us. Jill, so great to get you on and talk with you. So what is, I know the Titans are high on the priority list for what you cover now in Nashville. Maybe some Vanderbilt. What all are you covering day to day when you're at home in Nashville, Tennessee?
Yeah, it's a great sports market, which is why I was so attracted to Nashville in the first place. The Titans just coming off of their second straight AFC South title. They definitely dominate the market. So Titans, basically, they run my schedule, especially in the fall. But then when I'm not running around for the Titans, I'll cover the Predators. They just lost the first round in the Stanley Cup playoffs. That's it. You want to see a great sports environment, go to a Preds game at Bridgestone Arena. Because not only is it a fun game, great atmosphere, but then you step outside the stadium and you're on Broadway. So it's just a great place to go watch a game and hang out downtown Nashville. And then after that, we got some other great sports as well. We have an MLS team that's pretty young, doing well, Nashville SC, Vandy baseball. Oh, so much tonight. Unfortunately, haven't been able to give them all that much love this year, but Tennessee baseball too. Yeah. Not too far, 2 hours away. I've had the privilege of covering the Vols, and Tony Vitello, he's a fun coach to cover. So some great baseball that I'm able to cover in Nashville. And then, we are one of the few stations, Clip, that give a lot of time to high school football, and I take a lot of pride in that, because unfortunately with the direction that local sports is going, more and more markets are getting away from covering local sports, and it just breaks my heart, especially having started in a market in Greenville at Channel 9, where my bread and butter was Touchdown Friday. That was how I got my first reps, and that's how I also got to know the community more in Greenville and the different schools and towns, and so I have a very soft spot in my heart for high school football, and I do a 30-minute high school football show in the fall for 15 weeks. It's brutal, but it is fun, and I'm so glad I get to give those local kids that extra coverage on Friday night.
Well, I was going to say, Brian Bailey's probably proud of you for multiple reasons, but hearing that and you focusing on high school football, that just warmed his heart, I'm sure. Yeah. Jill Jonick joining us today. Jill, we'll let you go. Have fun the rest of your time here in Greenville. Have a great call on Saturday in the championship. Folks can go check it out for free or watch Jill on ESPN Plus, and we'll certainly talk to you again down the road. It was great catching up with you today.
Hey, Clip, real quick. The last time I was in Greenville, it was the end of my career. You had me on Pirate Radio, and it made my day talking about ECU softball. Thank you for the coverage that you give to not just ECU athletics, but women's sports and young women on the rise trying to, tackle their careers. I just appreciate it. It was a memory I always really, really loved, and thanks for giving me that. Happy to be here, and Take care. Have a great Friday night, y'all.
Awesome. That is great to hear. Jill, thank you for that and for joining us on the show today. We'll do it again down the road. Jill Jelnick, former Pirate great on the softball field and now doing great things in sports media. All right, Shirley Rhodes. Let's open up the booty bag right now. Right now.
Booty, 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 booty everywhere. Booty, 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 booty everywhere.
Margaritaville Tropical Punch. Have you tried it? I have not, and damn, they look tasty.
I've been trying to convince Jonathan to let us have a
just
it away again.
Like you get one of those hot.
Like I want to try one.
I want to try one when it's like 92, and I want that to be like
ice cold,
super ice cold.
I want the mango. Give me the mango.
I want the beach berry.
I want to try the
tango with the
Actually,
mango.
I want to try all three.
All right, fair enough.
Okay.
All right, relax, Alki.
Hey, calm down.
Hey.
Shirley's like hammered doing the show.
Take
You
her.
know how very, very little
What?
I participate.
Take her keys. Take her keys away.
Shut up.
Shirley, where's your keys? Shirley, no.
Shirley Rhodes.
On my belt loop, go for it, bud.
I don't mind if I do.
All right, what caller? How many of these have y'all drank today?
None.
317-1250. What call are you looking for, Shirley?
12 must be 21 or over.
Must be 21 or over. Fine print. We'll be back with more. Brian North joins us after this.
All aboard! Hop on the Emerald Express for a free ride through the Uptown District every Thursday through Saturday from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. The continuous loop begins and ends at GK Butterfield Transportation Center, but you can hop on and off at any of the 13 stops. With stops along Dickinson Avenue, Evans Street, the Town Common, and more, the Emerald Express is the perfect way to travel in the Emerald City. This trolley runs every 20 minutes, but don't worry, the stops are all footsteps away from all the businesses in the Uptown District.
I can't think of anyone who doesn't love a clean car, but how often do you actually go to the car wash? Does it take too long, or maybe it's just not a very nice place? Tommy's Express changes everything. Our wash is bright, inviting, clean, and fast.
I love the flat conveyor belt. So easy to pull onto, much smoother ride, and safer for my car.
And when you join Tommy Club, you can wash as often as you like for one low monthly price.
I save money and time.
We're Tommy's Express.
At the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Red Banks Road, Greenville.
Hey Pirate Nation, Lindsey Gray here with Carolina Caliber. In 1960, my granddaddy started his firearm business right here in Eastern NC. Still family owned and operated, we have the area's largest selection for outdoor shooting sports and accessories and are one of the nation's top firearm dealers. At Carolina Caliber, we have everything you need from hunting, home defense, and personal protection, including a wide variety for ladies and youth. We buy, sell, and trade. It's a time-honored tradition. Visit us at Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
Hey Pirate fans, this is Coach Cliff Godwin. The physicians at Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center have been caring for our athletes at ECU for more than 35 years. Whether it's treatment for our sports injury or it's time for that joint replacement, Orthopedics East provides the latest in operative and non-operative orthopedic care, physical therapy, and diagnostic testing. For experienced and professional services, call the team at Orthopedics East at 252-757-2663 or visit them online at orthoeast.com. Go Pirates!
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Ottavola Market Cafe. Ottavola is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Ottavola. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Ottavola is always the right call. Call ahead and get Ottavola to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Ottavola Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and OttavolaMarket.com. Ottavola, Pirates supporting pirates.
University PC Care has been busier than ever repairing personal PC and Mac computers and iPhones during this pandemic. And we thank you for your support. Now, with everyone streaming and doing work from school and home, you may have discovered that your home Wi-Fi just isn't cutting it. It may be time to upgrade your home network, and University PC Care can help. To make a network assessment appointment and discover upgrade options that fit your home, go to TalkToWilliam.com or learn more at UniversityPCCare.com.
Have you ever seen those exotic aquariums like the guys do in Las Vegas on television? You ever thought about having one of these aquariums in your business? It's more affordable than you think. This is Hal Pruitt with rentafishtank.com. We can make having an aquarium in your business turnkey with no work, cleaning, or hassles for you. Rentafishtank.com creates a relaxing atmosphere and keeps children occupied. Rentafishtank.com already services many dental, pediatric, and doctor offices, plus hospitals and senior living centers. Check us out at rentafishtank.com.
When I need jeans, I order online because I know exactly what I want. They have just one moving part, and if there's something wrong, I exchange them. Buying a vehicle, especially pre-owned, is way different. Lots of moving parts. You don't want to get stuck. For a worry-free purchase, visit Phelps Chevrolet. We've been here in town a very long time. You know us. You know we stand behind everything we sell. Phelps Chevrolet in Greenville. Come get you one.
This is Carson Wistenhunt, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Watch all of Pirate Radio's local programming on YouTube Live. You can watch Pirate Radio Live Monday through Friday from 3 until 6. And, of course, during football season, you can also watch the Bud Light pregame tailgate and U.S. Cellular fifth quarter on game days. Go to YouTube, search Pirate Radio TV, and then click on that subscribe button. Now back to PRL. Here's Clip.
All right, let's head out to the Pirate Radio Live line. Get you ready for your sports weekend. Talk about what's going on with Brian North, WCTI 12. He joins us on the Pirate Radio Live line. North, how you doing on this Friday?
I'm here. It's the 13th, Clippy. I don't know if you subscribe to such things. Normally I don't, but it's been a day.
My lovely daughter, Lily, was born on a Friday, the 13th. So she has not murdered me yet. So I'm taking it as this is a good day. I do not subscribe to the murderous Jason theories out there.
Yeah. I usually don't, but when things start rolling, it's just easy to blame. Because did you know the first Friday the 13th of the year is also something like blame something else for your problems day, too? I don't know. It's something weird like that. But yeah.
So it's funny how that works, I guess. North, you were the point man. You were the first and maybe the only person talking about Barber Road and the local ties that it has to Eastern North Carolina with its namesake in Lenoir County, one of the owners going to North Lenoir. So you got me kind of captivated on this horse, and a lot of folks who listen to Pirate Radio as well. We were talking about it a lot last week, and a pretty good showing in the Derby, right? I mean, had really long odds, ended up finishing, I think, 6th last Saturday. Of course, the story of the Derby was Rich Strike, and a horse we didn't know was even going to run in that race pops up and ends up winning the thing with a dramatic comeback. But as far as Barber Road goes, I thought a pretty good showing, right?
A really good showing, all things considered. And you talk about the path through life and how it determines where you finish. Barber Road and the Rich Strike, I can't remember the name of the horse. They were by each other coming out of the gate. They were dead last, the two of them. And Barber Road ended up taking the wide trip around turns 3 and 4, while the other horse stayed in the middle of the pack. It just had the Red Seas open up at the right time and it went through. But that overhead cam, if you watch on that coming through turn 4, Barber Road and the horse that won ended up, they were stride for stride. They were smoking everybody down the stretch. But because Barber Road ran outside and probably ran an extra 100 to 150 feet going away, that's the difference between winning and 6th place. And what sucks about 6th place is the top 5 horses are in the money. 6th place is your first horse doesn't get paid.
That is a bummer. Yeah, I saw that the graphic they put up before the race, now that you mentioned that, and it had the top 5, and everybody else kind of left out of the dust there. Are there any plans to run Barber Road in any of these, your Belmont or your Preakness?
Right. So they've been pointing to the Belmont all along. They thought that was going to be the one race they wanted to run in because the horse does well at longer distances. So the Belmont's the longest race at 1.5 miles. So that's the one they were pointing to, and then all of a sudden they went and qualified for the Derby. So I don't think he'll run in the Preakness, but I think if he's healthy and ready to go, and all signs point to him being that way, I think the next thing you'll see him is at the Belmont, and then you'll probably see him a couple more times this summer, maybe at Saratoga, maybe the Travers, and then maybe it does well at those races, possibly Breeders' Cup after that.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning that. The Belmont, that's more of a marathon than a sprint. Is that right, Brian?
Yeah, the final, the Triple Crown races, and that's why the Triple Crown's so hard to win. Not only is it 3 races in 6 weeks, but the distance gets long at the end. Your longest race is the last one. And so the horses are pretty tired, and that's what makes it so hard to win. And so this horse, Barber Road, just seems to like the distance better. It gets stronger as the race goes on. And with the Kentucky Derby, we saw that. It was such a blistering pace coming out. Everybody else sprinted. Well, the other horses just kind of laid back, and then they get stronger as the race goes on while everybody else petered out. So they really think they have a chance in the Belmont. And so, we'll have to wait and see. That's a few weeks away. They'll have to run the Preakness first. We already know there's not going to be a Triple Crown winner this year because the Derby horse winner is not going to. I didn't get the explanation of why, but I did hear it's not going to run at the Preakness.
Yeah, I guess. I was thinking about that. Is that because you? I don't know. Is it a health thing? Is it your horse can't win it, so why pay the entry fee? That is kind of interesting. That
it's. Everybody usually tries to run for the Triple Crown unless there's something wrong with a horse health-wise.
Yeah.
That would be there must be something they don't like, or you don't want to compromise the horse's health, because running races that close together, if they haven't done it, if he's not trained to do so, it could be detrimental to his health. And then when you deal with that, you're talking about breeding and stud fees, and that's where you really make a lot of money on the back end. So it's something money-related, but I would think it has either an injury or that they're just not confident the horse can be recovered and ready to go that quickly.
Brian North joining us. While we're talking racing, let's stick with it. Joey Logano wins last week and gave a little bump to William Byron there at the end of the race. And explain this to my pea brain, Brian. So racing fans like the dust ups, and if you ain't first, you're last. You got to do everything you can to win. Yet when I see something like this happen, and I don't know if it's these same race fans that say one thing, say the other, but it's, man, that's a bad move by Logano. What a bum. Why did he do that? So I don't understand. Like, what's good? What's bad? Help me out here.
In this day and age of confirmation bias, Clip, it's what is good for us. So it's probably how much you like Joey Logano. I can remember back in the Earnhardt days when he would do the same thing. If you loved Earnhardt, it was a great move,
That's racing.
Yeah, right. That's racing, right? Bump it and grind it. Do what you got to do. But if you don't like him, it's dirty. The only issue I think I have with Logano, he did it in the turn. One of the golden rules is you're not supposed to bump guys going into a turn. Maybe at the beginning to drive them up the track a little bit. Logano's claim was that Byron had just done the same thing to him a lap or two before. So, look, it creates the rivalries that NASCAR fans do like. William Byron is kind of one of those generic guys who hasn't shown much fire, so that was kind of good for him to come out and show a little personality. And Joey Logano's always been kind of one of those guys. You either love him or you don't. His nickname was Sliced Bread for a while because everybody who didn't like him said he thinks he's the greatest thing since sliced bread, so that nickname stuck for a while.
I don't know a lot about him, but he does have a very S-eating, cocky smile. I don't know if he does that on purpose, but he does. I bet if you polled the driver's most punchable face in NASCAR, Logano would be near the top.
Right there with the Busch brothers, yeah. I definitely think so. And it's just, it's that smile, that sarcastic-looking smile. I don't know if he can help it. I don't dislike Joey Logano, but at the same time, I've never been a huge fan of him either. But he's been a guy who's never been afraid to mix it up a little bit. So I don't think he has as many friends in the garage as other drivers do.
Brian North joining us. Kansas this weekend. That's is that one of your cookie cutters, Brian?
No, yeah. It's one that will probably be on the circuit in 5 years, unless they're getting great crowds. But it's generic mile-and-a-half track, yeah.
All right. Coming up this weekend, I plan on being at Clark LeClaire Saturday at 4:30, I guess 3:30. an hour before the first pitch. No, 4 o'clock. I'm sorry. So the game starts at 4. I'm getting that confused because the Hurricanes will have a Game 7 at 4:30. So you could have those two sporting events going on at the same time. Hurricanes North. I guess the series hasn't started yet, right? It doesn't start till the home team loses. This series may never begin if Carolina wins tomorrow.
And the crazy thing about it is, and I know home ice is important. I've always thought hockey of all the sports, I didn't think the home advantage was quite as great. But this has been a weird series where the home team has been dominant. It hasn't even been close.
Yeah.
It's a 3 to 4 goal differential every time for the home team.
We're yet to have that game in the third period with 5 minutes left where it's in question. You know?
Right, and does that continue? This is why, you try to win your division for the regular season so you get that home ice advantage. But I don't remember a series like this. I can remember your Atlanta Braves in 1991 in the World Series with the Twins. The Twins won every home game. They also did it in '87, and that was the only time I think that's ever happened. But I can remember it in baseball, but I don't ever remember in hockey a series like this where home ice meant so much in a first round of a playoff.
It's starting to give Hurricanes fans some bad flashbacks. I've even thought about this myself, and the Canes beat the Capitals a few years ago, and it was the first Canes playoff series win in a long time. Caps had the home ice advantage. The first 6 games went to the home team, and then the Hurricanes were able to win Game 7, kind of a fluky goal in overtime. And Canes fans are starting to get worried that this might be a reverse of that. So, but once again, we've yet to see a close one. Maybe the Canes come out, dominate again. We'll see on Saturday.
They had been great at home like that, and Rod Brindamore was saying how electric the crowd could be, and how he almost wants to get back out on the ice again and play because of the home crowd. But 4:30 is a weird time. It doesn't give the home fans as much time to get lubed up as normal, but it's still a great environment. So we'll see if it matters. It's been Game 6 the other night. The puck just kind of hopped in weird places sometimes, and if that happens for the visiting team, all you have to do is steal one, and so it's going to be fun, and then we'll have to see if they can actually pull it out. But I would put my money on Carolina just because of their home dominance so far.
Really strange last couple of games in the Boston-Milwaukee series. So a few nights ago in Milwaukee, they're not cruising, but they have a comfortable lead, and then Boston goes on a run late. Al Horford finds the fountain of youth and takes over, and Boston steals one on the road. And then you want to talk about stealing one. Milwaukee did the exact same thing on Wednesday night. It looked like the Celtics were going to go up 3-2 at home, and the fans were going to celebrate, but Milwaukee wins it. Some big plays down the stretch from Drew Holiday and, of course, Giannis and that outfit. And now they have a 3-2 lead at home tonight. And then you got Golden State, who were absolutely destroyed on the road the other night without John Morant from Memphis. But Memphis still has to beat them 2 more times. So Golden State can close it out at home tonight. Milwaukee can close it out at home. Celtics seem to be like a good back against the wall team, the way they play, the way they hustle, play defense. So I'm looking forward to that one tonight, Boston and Milwaukee, Game 6.
Yeah, I just haven't figured out a way to trust Boston yet. I mean, it's one of those things they just got to prove it to me. Jason Tatum, as great as a talent he is, he can disappear on you or go real cold in a hurry. I don't know if he's just learned how to be the superstar all the time. When he's on, he's on, but he hasn't learned how to be a superstar when he's not having a good, solid night. So I think that's the next thing for him to kind of take that next step. But the Celtics team is interesting. Every time you want to buy in on them, they'll do something that makes you want to jump back off that bandwagon.
Yeah.
The defending champs are the defending champs for a reason. So it's definitely been an interesting series, and especially when they haven't had Chris Middleton. So, certainly I think Milwaukee's in the driver's seat, but as you stated, in this series, just when you think you've got it figured out, something else happens.
Kind of strange the run we're on in the East now. I guess it's not super strange with Giannis being the best player and played for Milwaukee, but the Heat and the Bucks have ran the East these last few years, Brian, and could end up being those two teams to go back to the finals this year.
Well, defense,
Yeah, you said it last week. I remember defense travels, right?
Yep, and
the problem for the Heat last week, and they did win their series, but that day you said that offense didn't travel for them, Brian. That was a low-scoring game, if I recall.
Yeah, I know. And then Jimmy Butler comes back out and says, I don't care if we make shots as long as we play hard on defense. And it was an effort series. I think when you look back at that 76ers series, there was a definite difference between effort in the two teams.
Yeah. And, boy, James Harden did the old running back or Peyton Manning or quarterback fall off a cliff thing, didn't he? He disappeared, and we'll see if he's back with them.
Yeah, age and, the old saying with Harden is, well, everybody else is in the gym. He's out on the club circuit during the summer for his training. And so, that'll catch up to you about his age right now. So we'll see what kind of summer he has because this is a big contract year for him.
And Chandler told me earlier today that go ahead and prepare myself for Mike D'Antoni to be the next coach of the Hornets, and I just want to give up basketball completely. Like, what? Good grief, man. He's been fired like 7 times. I'm sure he was a good coach. He probably still is a decent coach, but if you fire a guy, I want to make a clear upgrade or improvement, and I'd rather have James Borrego back than Mike D'Antoni.
I never heard the whole reason why Borrego was let go. What was the deal?
I guess it was just getting their asses blown out for 2 straight play-in games. I mean, that's really because they had improved every year a little bit. It was frustrating for them to not make the playoffs this year. You felt like they had the guys. They've had some injuries. Gordon Hayward's kind of been a bust just because he hadn't played a lot. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess, again, if you're going to make that move, you got to bring in somebody where the players and the fan base both say, all right, I see why you made this move. And Mike D'Antoni's not that guy. If they get Frank Vogel, I'm cool with that. I think he'd be an upgrade, but D'Antoni's not.
The only reason I would give you D'Antoni, where were Mike D'Antoni's best years?
Phoenix.
And who do you have playing for him back then?
Yeah, he had Nash. What are you doing, the Nash-Melo comparison here?
Yeah, well,
point guard comparison.
Good young point guard.
Yeah.
Flashy young point guard who can get it done. And
yeah.
So maybe that's where he would be a decent fit, but obviously his teams have never played defense. So,
Miles Plumlee is not Amari Stoudemire.
Right. That's true. That is true. Look, offensively, they're a fun team to watch, and maybe they go out score people. But again, it didn't work for Steve Nash and the Suns either. When it came to championship level, you do have to play some defense, and so maybe he gets him a couple extra rounds. But I don't know. I'm kind of with you. He's been retreaded so many different times. I don't mind some of these fresh faces. Like the Celtics have had pretty good luck going with a guy no one had ever heard of before.
True.
But basically, you just need to go pick a Greg Popovich assistant coach, and you'll have success.
Well, they tried that, and they just fired him.
Yeah.
I don't want Mike D'Antoni, and you know who else I don't want to coach, Brian? Steve Nash.
Yeah.
That didn't work out too well.
So far, yeah.
I'm a Nash fan.
It's going to be a Jason Kidd learning on the job thing, and kids actually come around a little bit. But look, if you've never coached before, I don't know how anybody expects you to be a great coach. So,
yeah,
it's one of those things you'd like them to be able to learn on a different level. But in this day and age, names sell tickets too, and so that's why they get some of these superstars.
Brian North joining us. North, do you recall a team that has had so many role reversals in a season than this ECU baseball team? With your starting shortstop goes to your Friday night guy, and then your closer coming into the year, he's going to be your Friday night guy, and he's going to throw 9 no-hit innings, and it's just incredible what they've been able to kind of piece together this year, and they're right back to where you expect ECU baseball to be in mid-May, which is on the right side of the bubble, at the top of the conference standings, and the clear favorite to win another ring in Clearwater. I mean, what a job by this team this year.
I was just telling somebody this earlier. This might be one of Cliff Godwin's best coaching jobs from what he's been dealt with the team, losing a lot of guys to the draft, losing a star pitcher before the season started, having some other things go on, but the adjustments that he's made, non-hitting early, trying to figure out his pitching staff, all those things. This might be one of his best in-season coaching jobs with adjustments that I've seen. I know he's had to work harder this year maybe than he has in years past. But the result is now they're at 31 wins. They probably will get to the magic number 35. I think that's always the magic number to make sure you're in the NCAA tournament. And so, good job of adjusting throughout the season is, I guess, the optimistic way to look at it, of how he's been able to find the right fit for guys when obviously they weren't defined roles when the season started.
Man, it's been a weird year, but it's all kind of looking familiar right now if you're a Pirate baseball fan. Still work to do, and hopefully they get to work beginning tonight against USF. North, always appreciate the chat. Hopefully we made your Friday the 13th a little better, a little brighter. Are you into horror movies at all?
I can handle. They're not my favorite, but if they're around or if they're good entertainment, I'm into them.
Okay. What's your favorite scary movie?
Yeah, I'll always say The Exorcist was always the one that scared the crap out of me the most.
How old were you when you first saw that? Were you young?
10.
Yeah,
So that's
stuck with you.
Yeah, when somebody's head goes round and round in circles and then they vomit vertically and,
And now that happens every day with your young daughters, right?
Correct. That is correct.
It really prepares you for adulthood and parenthood. You didn't know at the time.
Yeah, you are correct. Outside of that, I don't know. I've seen I've seen the scary movies. I've seen Halloween movies. They're all good. They're all about the same. So I'm not big on the ones where they gotcha.
Jump scares.
Yeah, jump scares.
I'm with you.
Those are my favorite. So
yeah. By the way, and we'll end it here. We've been asking kind of off the wall questions to our baseball guys. I don't think we've asked you this. Maybe we have. Correct me if I'm wrong. I talked to a lot of people. What are you afraid of, Brian? Have I asked you that?
No, not directly.
Okay, what are you afraid of?
I could do the general thing of failure or Brian Bailey being my boss or
do you have that reoccurring nightmare where you are Brian Bailey's number 2 at NCT and your life is a living hell? Is that a dream you have?
Oh my God. No, let's get out there. Go down to Craven County. I don't know where that is. Go cover.
Oh. Somehow it always turns into a Bailey roast, no matter what the topic we're on.
I love Double B.
I know.
He's great. We only kid because we care.
That's right. You roast the ones you love. That's what Jeff Ross says. So
that's it.
All right, Nord. Thanks for joining us, man. Have a good weekend. Get through this 13th, and we'll talk to you again soon.
All right, sounds good, Clippy.
Brian North joining us today on Pirate Radio Live. Let's take a break, come back. We'll wrap it up with Mark Greenhalgh, Golf Shop Radio Show. He'll join us to close out this Friday edition of Pirate Radio Live after this.
Seltzer Hard Soda, Classic Cola, Cherry Cola, Citrus Soda, and Orange Soda. You hear that? It's seltzer with a pop of soda, all with zero sugar. Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, the loudest flavors ever. Pick up some new Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda at your favorite retailer today. Bud Light, proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989, and the official beer of the ECU Pirates.
Millions of illegals crossing our border every year. It's a full-blown crisis. The very first thing they've done in America is defy our rules. They're lawbreakers. And just like Joe Biden, politicians like Sandy Smith would reward their lawbreaking with amnesty. Probably because Sandy Smith repeatedly breaks our rules herself. Smith won't follow ethics rules by disclosing her financial investments and conflicts of interest. Sure makes you think Sandy Smith's hiding something. And Sandy Smith went bankrupt, owing her creditors thousands without paying. Then failed to pay her taxes on time. Bankruptcy, back taxes, and amnesty. That's shady, but that's Sandy Smith. Want to stop lawbreakers? Then stop Sandy Smith. Congressional Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.congressionalleadershipfund.org.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 for the Golf Shop Radio Show. Hosts Mark Greenhalgh and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're gonna love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop.
This is Mark Washington with Max Sports Performance at Max Fitness. Our facility has reopened and is following all safety protocols. The best thing you can do to strengthen your immune system is, of course, to work out and exercise on a regular basis. I can assist you as your performance coach. You can also enjoy the benefits of a private facility. Avoid the crowds and work out at Max Fitness. Now is the time to get healthy. Max Fitness, just off Highway 43 in the old Ace Hardware building behind Speedway in Greenville. Call me, Mark Washington, 902-4877.
I'm Michael Vaughn with East Coast Grading and Utilities. Many of you know my dad, David Vaughn, and his work in putting in subdivisions all over Pirate Nation. But East Coast Grading and Utilities is not just for those type of big jobs. We're here for the homeowners. Whether it's concrete, driveways, hauling rock, or sand, whatever you need, East Coast Grading and Utilities can get the job done. Call us at 252-531-7494 or check us out on Facebook at East Coast Grading and Utilities.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Scott Harris with RE/MAX Preferred Realty. I've been in Greenville over 25 years. I'm a proud graduate of ECU. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, then give me a call today and let me help make your real estate process fun and easy. I keep it simple and explain the process every step of the way. My goals are your goals. There are no long-term contracts, and you always deal with me from start to finish. The right home starts with the right agent. Call me, Scott Harris, at 347-1857. Go Pirates!
Pirate Radio.
We'll strap it on with anybody, anywhere. It doesn't matter. I know this. I want to win or lose with the group that we have in our locker room.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Taking a look at your stock market report. The Dow closed out the week up 466 points at 32,196. NASDAQ was up 434 points at 11,805, and the S&P was up 93 at 4,023. That's your Wells Fargo Advisors financial report. For a personal look into investing, call Wells Fargo Advisors today at 756-6900 in Greenville. Wells Fargo Advisors LLC, member SIPC. And as we head back into the show, I failed to mention congratulations to Kevin Cozart of Winterville, who was our big free Margaritaville Tropical Punch Variety Pack winner. I failed to mention that in last break. Back to you, Clip.
All right. Congratulations to Kevin. Let's wrap up today's show talking some golf and some other sports topics with Mark Greenhalgh, Golf Shop Radio Show. He joins us here on Pirate Radio Live. Greenie, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'll be out of quarantine and back in the studio tomorrow, so I'll be happy about that.
All right, good to hear. Hope everything is going well your way. A big day tomorrow. We got the Golf Shop Radio Show going on 8 to 10 a.m. You can hear it right here on Pirate Radio. We'll dive into the world of golf in a moment. But Greenie, got Boston, Carolina, Game 7. And not only has every home team won on their home ice, every home team has really dominated on home ice this series. Canes fans hoping that trend will continue on Saturday. Boston fans hoping they can get the first one on the road. So how about Game 7 coming up tomorrow afternoon?
You know, the other interesting thing about this whole series so far has been that the team that has scored first hasn't necessarily won, but the way it's worked so far is Carolina scored first in Games 1 and Games 2, and then they scored again. When Boston has won 3 and 4, even though Carolina scored first, they came right back and scored and were able to tie it up fairly quickly. And then, of course, Carolina scored first and second in Game 5. Boston scored first and second in Game 6. So, to me, this really comes down to, number one, I feel like if Boston scores first, they end up winning the game. If Carolina scores first, Boston doesn't answer, and Carolina can get up 2-0, then I think it's over. So it's been an interesting dynamic in how the scoring has kind of shifted the way that the game has played out. That's the only thing I can come up with at this point. It's like it doesn't necessarily – it's important for Carolina to score first, but it's because they have not won a game when they have when they've fallen behind. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. I can't tell you. I mean, it really has come down to who's taken the most penalties, and every home team has had the advantage on the power play. So you got to think that you give the advantage to Carolina at this point.
Is this common, Greeny? I follow the Hurricanes and watch them through their playoff runs, but I don't watch it as close as I do football, basketball, other sports. I guess college basketball might be the worst, where referees get influenced by a home crowd. But, I mean, are these penalties being taken warranted? Are the refs, have the refs been up to snuff this series? I don't know. What's your take on that?
It's been weird, and it seems like, I don't care what sport you follow, we always seem to be talking about officiating, the further that we go, and it's very strange when you get people talk about, well, the referees put the whistles away in the playoffs for hockey. Well, they do and they don't. It's like, it's very strange. Sometimes you'll see a bunch of stuff go. We saw in Toronto, Tampa Bay last night. I mean, Austin Matthews, one of the best players in the league, is getting grabbed by the shirt for about, on and off for about 30 seconds and no calls ever made. And yet somebody could probably get a little cross check and get knocked down in front of the net and that gets a call. So I think what we as fans want is we want some kind of consistency. And, if you're going to call a penalty in the first period with 5 minutes into the game, that same play needs to be a penalty in the third period with 5 minutes left in the game. So I think that's what we crave from a fan perspective, is we don't care if you're calling everything or nothing or somewhere in between. We just want it to be consistent. And
right.
I think, especially in the NHL, I think sometimes we fail in that, because even though the Bruins got some good calls the other night, I mean, early on in that game, Carolina got a couple of quick calls, and Bruins players weren't getting quick calls, and then it almost like flipped somewhere in the middle of the game where it seemed like maybe the Bruins were getting the calls and Carolina weren't getting the calls. So the consistency, I think, is what we have a problem with.
Yeah.
Not seeing it.
Yeah, just like a strike zone. If it's bad, at least make it consistently bad. And Greeny and fans want to see more of that in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Talking to Mark Greenhalgh, Golf Shop Radio Show coming your way Saturday morning right here on Pirate Radio. And Greeny, I got to tell you, I'm not that familiar with Sebastian Munoz, but I guess I should get familiar with him. Shoots a 60 at the Byron Nelson and becomes the first PGA Tour player with 2 rounds of 60 in the same season. So a record-breaking performance this weekend. Who is Sebastian Munoz?
Well, he's kind of been around for a little bit. He has 1 PGA Tour win and 1 Korn Ferry Tour win. So he won on the Korn Ferry Tour back in 2016, kind of helped propel him onto the PGA Tour. He won the Sanderson's Farms, one of those, events that's kind of in the beginning of a wraparound season back in 2019. So we've seen him kind of linger around some leaderboards before. And, I always say it is hard to back up those rounds. So today, at this point, he's even through 4. So, somebody who can go low, but somebody who has a little problem with consistency himself. So, again, another guy that you kind of want to look at, that can he maintain that over 4 rounds. Usually when you go really low like a 60, it's really hard to come back and back that up the next day with something else low. So you kind of maybe look for him to hopefully get a couple under par today and then be able to go a little bit lower on the weekend and get himself back into it.
At the time of this recording, Ryan Palmer in the lead at the Byron Nelson as they continue to play. And Greeny, how are you using this, and how are you using the guys not in this field to get ready for next week's PGA Championship? Who are your guys next week you're going to look to get in your pool, and maybe a long shot or two? Who are you looking at for next week?
Well, definitely this week you want to look at Scotty Scheffler, because we haven't seen Scotty Scheffler since the Masters, right? So we want to see how he's kind of turning this whole thing around. How's he playing? What's he look like? Is he somebody that we need to look at the next week? I mean, man, he's won 4 times in his last 6 starts, and we want to see if that mojo is still there. So you definitely want to look at that as we head into the weekend. I mean, he's already done through 2 rounds, so he's at 9 under par. I mean, he's kind of there, not really challenging. At this time, he's 6 shots behind the lead of Ryan Palmer. So you want to see him continue to build on that. You want to see guys like Jordan Spieth, Justin Thomas, Hideki Matsuyama. You want to see those big names start to build. But then you also wonder about somebody like a Brooks Koepka, who was supposed to play this week and withdrew, and we don't really know why he withdrew. So, we obviously want to see that. We don't know again, whether we have Phil or Tiger playing, the assumption is that Tiger is going to play. And I'm sure somewhere somebody's monitoring his plane to see if it's actually going to leave sometime this weekend to head to Tulsa. Phil's the big question mark. We kind of felt like Phil was heading towards defending this championship and showing up, and then lo and behold, Alan Shipnuck drops his next nugget of the escapades of Phil's gambling, and now Phil may have to answer to that if he shows up. Lots of question marks around that. But yeah, there's really a toss-up between, maybe you want to see a guy that had been playing well and took this week off, and a guy that maybe hadn't been playing well or hadn't played, like a Scotty Scheffler, and how's he playing this week going into next week?
Greeny, I brought this up yesterday and want to ask you as a golf novice. I know that the U.S. Open is made to, as difficult as possible, and I'm looking at past winners right now. You had Brooks Koepka win, Webb Simpson, Justin Rose all win over par since 2000. Graham McDowell was even par in 2010. So since 2010, you've had 4 guys even par or worse win the event. How about the PGA Championship? What sets that apart from other golf tournaments played throughout the PGA season? Do they try to make it more difficult? Is it pretty on par with other courses? What's the unique thing about it, if anything?
For me, probably the last 10 years, the PGA Championship has been one of the most fun to watch. And the reason I say that is Kerry Haigh is responsible from the PGA of America for setting up that golf course. And I think he does the best job in terms of making it difficult yet scoreable. And what I mean by that is that if you hit good shots, you get rewarded. You have the opportunity to make birdies and eagles. If you hit bad shots, you have the opportunity to maybe scramble and make a par, maybe scramble and make a bogey. But there's also that double and triple and all the other stuff that you can get that's available on his setups. So that's what I think people like to see is, they don't. I mean, some people like to see carnage at the U.S. Open and guys, shooting 4 over par to win the thing. But at all at the other 3, the Open, the U.S. Open, and the PGA, I really think the PGA does the best job of setting it up so that you get rewarded by really good shots. I think the U.S. Open has gone over the edge sometimes where good shots aren't rewarded. Sometimes we get people complain about that at Augusta National that, if you miss that 1-foot spot on a shot, it rolls off the green and down a hill somewhere. But I think the PGA of America, in selecting their courses and in setting up their championship, of the 3 that rotate, has done probably the best job in the past 10 years.
Mark Greenhalgh, good info from the Golf Shop Radio Show, joining us. Looking forward to seeing Harold Varner III back in action next week. We'll talk about round 2 when we catch up with Greeny next Friday right here on Pirate Radio. Greeny, what are the topics you'll be hitting on Saturday's edition of the Golf Shop Radio Show?
Well, we're going to talk with a 16-year-old, Kylie Choi, that was the first to qualify for the U.S. Women's Open. At age 16, there was 1 spot in her qualifier, and she got it at age 16, beating a whole host of other people. So that's an interesting story as we head into the Women's U.S. Open here in the Carolinas over in the Pinehurst area. We'll talk to Bobby Harton about a new golf tour down in the Charleston area. We'll check in with Curtis Strange, who's going to be working with ESPN. I'm actually a big fan of Curtis Strange working on golf coverage. I think he does an excellent job. So we'll check in with him on the PGA Championship. And as always, we'll check in with our man Bill Bender. Maybe talk a little NFL schedule release that we had last night.
All right. Good stuff. Looking forward to it Saturday morning, 8 a.m. right here on Pirate Radio. Greeny, have a great rest of your weekend. Have a great show tomorrow, and we'll talk to you again soon.
All right. Thanks, Clip. You have a good one, too.
Thank you, Granny. Mark Greenhalgh's Golf Shop Radio Show joining us today to wrap up a Friday edition, a fun one on Pirate Radio Live. If you missed our interview earlier with Ryan Robinson, make sure you check that one out. Also, Jill Jelnick joined us, Brian North, Morgan Ahlers, and Tony Dunn. Thanks to Shirley Rhodes, Chandler Honeycutt for their service and the great job they did today and every day here at Pirate Radio. We'll see you Monday, 3 o'clock. Big show. Cliff Godwin, the guys inside the Delcor Players Lounge, and we'll wrap up and recap the sports weekend Monday, 3 o'clock on Pirate Radio Live. Have a great weekend. So long, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live.